At Coletco for tonight's Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. I am trying to get another device. Here it is. See if I can pull up our chat here. Let's see. There it is. Boy, that looks cool. Let's see. Well, there it is. Now, how do I get it to where it normally looks? Let me go back for a second. Let me see what this is. Give me 1 second. We're trying to get another device going so we can see comments because the other one isn't here. Tanner's using it right now. Let me go chat. Let's see if that works. Aha. Anthony had the right one saved. Mr. Seth, this should take care of you, okay? Hope you're ready. Seth is keying in records. Or tagging records tonight. Until Tanner gets here. Okay. Alrighty. Let's hope that's soon for Seth's sake. He's over here already sweating. He's going to have to actually do some work. Until I fire him. I'll fire him when Tanner gets here. Alrighty. So, this is Monday night. Let me give my official stump speech. This is Monday night. Welcome to Coletco. We've got an excellent show lined up for you tonight. I've been through this crate multiple times, so I don't see... Well, there's a couple new things in here. I'll go ahead and do our warm-up crate, whatever one's front and center right here. I'd actually like to go through this one first. Let me do that. Sean, I didn't add that because there was a ding corner. If you're okay with a ding corner, but I had one left and it was a ding corner, and it's actually on back order again. So I would assume that you would still, want one. So let me know, because some things, when we run out of them, we might not get them for a while. And that MF Doom is one of them. So if you're okay with a ding corner, Sean, I will get that taken care of for you. Now, Tanner just texted me because I was in communication with him about, where's that other crate that was right here? Oh, okay. It's underneath it. He is working on invoices right now. And so I started purging orders late last night. I came here this morning. I've been going through some really old stuff. And actually, this crate right here is some stuff that was really old that I canceled. I think we've been holding out. Hopefully, there's a couple auction. There's an OG Metallica in there. There's a Ride the Lightning that we auctioned. Some very high-end stuff that one time people hopped on. They bought something, and then we never did hear back from them again. So that is some stuff that I worked on. Tanner's finishing up invoices. I feel like this week's going a lot smoother and kind of more ahead of schedule than it was last week. We've had a lot of applicants for our job. I hadn't even really replied to anybody. I bet 50, 60 people have contacted us asking if they could work here. And I've got to get somebody hired in like the next 48 hours. So I've kind of been doing an initial look, but I hadn't literally replied to anybody. I don't know how I'm going to even handle all that. That's a lot of people. I've had a lot of comments, people calling my phone, messages to the store. So a lot of applicants to look through. I'm going to work on that tonight after we sell some records. So I'm going to do that first. This is going to be our first warm-up bin. I've got 2 bins of new vinyl. And I've got, well, y'all saw the picture of it. I've got 7 crates of new vintage arrivals. 7 crates of new vintage arrivals. So that is, you know, a lot for me to go through the next 4 hours. I've already seen like 5 questions about invoices or corrections or stuff like that. If you will just message the store page, me or Tanner will get back with you as soon as possible. That's for invoice corrections, damage records, extra records, this or that, me or Tanner will get with you, or probably Tanner will. And then hopefully by like Wednesday or Thursday, we'll have somebody new that's handling that for us directly. But Gary, just we'll work that out. I think, Bubby, you had a question. If you hadn't sent us a message already, that is the fastest way and most efficient way to solve a problem, is send us a Facebook message. I'm not saying we're going to reply immediately like it's a live chat, but we will get back with you soon. We sold another extraordinary amount of records this week. Unbelievable. So lots of customers, lots of new customers. Some people's always already like, where's my invoice? I want to pay. I'm like, don't worry, we're getting it there. So don't worry, we're getting it there. But that's what we'll do. And if you have a problem like Paul has, and we hadn't got back with you in like 2 weeks, then that is excessively long. What did I just say? Excessively. That means it got overlooked. That means probably Doug logged in, he sent you some tracking number, your message got opened, and you got a tracking number, and Doug didn't know how to answer it because that's something we should be answering, or Tanner, or whoever else handles that, and it got overlooked. So just so everybody knows how the flow of things. That's what happens a lot of times. Y'all send a message the same day you're getting a tracking number. You get the tracking number, and then we don't know about your message. So that's what happens. Okay. First is Pearl Jam live at Fox Theater. That is $24.99. Ryan, I looked at your messages, and they were so lengthy and detailed, it made my head hurt. So I read them, and I read the other one, and then I read the other one, and I got almost confused. And so I was like, well, I don't know how to answer this. And then I was like, I don't know how I should answer this. So I'm going to have to go back through and study your questions. So let me do that tonight or tomorrow. Pearl Jam live at Fox Theater. I didn't even get time to tell you about it. It's sold to Chris DeMoss. That is sold to Chris DeMoss. If anybody else wants one, this is on colored vinyl, live at Fox Theater, Atlanta, 1994. That is an unofficial. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Those are $24.99. I do get some messages, people wanting to return a record, and they write, I swear, it probably took them 45 minutes to type their message because they was afraid to ask for a return or something. And when I read it, my head hurts. I'm like, so by the time I get done reading, I'm like, I don't know if they want to return this or not. And so I don't even know how to reply sometimes. So, yeah, if you need to return something, just say, I need to return this. Joe Maynard, we'll take our first waiting list, Seth. That's for Pearl Jam Fox Theater, 1994. Joe Maynard, I'll have those in today. Hank the 3, blue vinyl 2LP. Alan Case also on that list. This is a new release from Hank 3. That's Hank the 3rd. That is Hank Sr.'s grandson. I'm going to call this one Rebel Proud. That's not really a bad word, but kind of. That word right. Don't want to say that too much here on Facebook Live. That is $42.99, even though when I get into some death metal or punk, I got to have a new crate of that kind of stuff tonight. If we go through it, some of that is just, definitely not PG. Okay, the 8 Mile soundtrack. This is actually a 4LP, 8 Mile, music from and inspired by. This is a 20th anniversary 4LP set, $119.99. $119.99, 4LP. Of course, this is music by Eminem, 50 Cent, Gangstar, Rakim, all those. Those are $119.99. I've sold a few of them. I've got 3 left. $119.99. Paul Brothers also on that Pearl Jam list. New Neil Young, a new live Neil Young. This is Somewhere Under the Rainbow, 2LP. That's a live 1973 concert on 2 LPs. I'm sure that sounds incredible, like most of Neil's live stuff from that era. $49.99. How many of those I have left? I've got 2 left. This is a new issue of this. It's been pressed on multiple different versions, but this is a colored vinyl, yellow vinyl, Bill Withers live at Carnegie Hall. It's actually a Record Store Day essential. So the week before Record Store Day, they send out Record Store Day essentials. This is the only one that I saw appealing to me, $44.99. I have one of those left. I'm pretty sure in one of my posts, somebody said they wanted this. I hope I have another one. I'll go ahead and offer this one to sale because I know I can get more. This is Stormtroopers of Death, Speak English or Die, which is a 30th anniversary. And if you are one of those people who asked for this, let me know right now because I know I've got to pull. I make these posts where I do flip videos and pictures of racks, and then people will see it like 2 weeks later and ask for something, and I don't know if I have it or not. I kind of in my mind think I do, but that's why you see me turn off comments sometimes on those. Some of those old flip videos, after about 3 days, I'll turn off the comments. It'll pop up randomly in their newsfeed a week later, and they'll be trying to buy something that we're long sold out of. Rydell Martin on Bill Withers. That sold to Rydell Martin. So we sold Pearl Jam, and then we had 3 people on the wait list. Rydell Martin got Bill Withers. Kiss Monster. Kiss Monster is $38.99 for Kiss Monster. $38.99. And this is Flying Dutchman. Flying Dutchman is the record label. This is a really good comp. Of course, some of this music's very difficult to obtain, especially high grade. $36.99. That is 2 LPs too. There's what some of the singles looks like. Artists such as Gil Scott-Heron, Lonnie Liston Smith, Ornette Coleman. That's $36.99. Government Mule, Deja Voodoo. That's on red colored vinyl. $46.99. $46.99 for Government Mule, Deja Voodoo. That is on red colored vinyl. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I have the pre-order up for Volume 1. This is the deluxe edition of like the Awesome Mix. I'm sure y'all have heard of that, the Awesome Mix. That is what this one is, and then this is the score music, plus a couple of the other songs like Flashlight, really good song by Parliament that's on that movie. $36.99 for Guardians of the Galaxy. Thelonious Monk, Genius of Modern Music. That's a Blue Note reissue, $36.99 for Monk. The very popular Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack, $44.99. That's a 2 LP Oh Brother, Where Art Thou. David Hesse on Kiss. I'm pretty sure David has bought from us before. Name sounds very familiar. I just don't say it a whole lot. David, if you're a first-time buyer, though, let me know and I'll give some instructions. I need to probably anyway. Allison Campbell on Guardians of the Galaxy. Allison Campbell on Guardians of the Galaxy. We need to pull another Kiss for Jamie Butler. Jamie, I don't know if I have another one of those or not. I'll take down your name as a backup. I know I did a flip video with that record. Let me see if I can locate that quickly. If not, I'll get you one. I know I can get more, or it's around here somewhere. So Jamie Butler, second on Kiss Monster. And let's see, yeah, the pre-orders from Volume 3. Yeah, the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie should come out soon, or if not already out. And they've already posted the pre-order for the soundtrack. Concert for George Harrison box set. I own 2 of these myself. That's how much I like it. $149.99. 4 LP. The 8th side has a special etching. $149.99. This is incredible. Eric Clapton, Jeff Lynne, Paul McCartney, Tom Petty, Billy Preston doing My Sweet Lord. If you go watch that on YouTube, you'll want to buy this. Very emotional, very moving. Mitchell Thomas on the George Harrison box set. I need to get another one of those. Here's a prime example. I think someone claimed this in a flip video 2 nights ago, and I posted it almost a week. So if anybody wants this, you can have it, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody I need to pull this for a flip video. This is Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. That's the single LP. They've also got a double LP in print, which is about twice as much, but it's the complete concert. This is just like the original release, which was bits and pieces of his Folsom Prison. He actually played a lot of music there. $28.99. The Prince doing the Guitar Gently Weeps, no, that was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame introduction. We get those sometimes. They're on colored vinyl, but I don't have those right now. That you're thinking of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where Prince does While My Guitar Gently Weeps. The Talking Heads, more songs about buildings and food. That is $31.99. This and Talking Heads 77 are the only 2 Talking Heads albums in print right now, or available in stock. $31.99. System of a Down, Hypnotize, is $28.99. The Madonna Immaculate Collection. This is Madonna's Greatest Hits. Originally came out in 1990. This is an exact reissue of it, $44.99. We've had originals before, not cheap. Peter Tosh, Legalize It, is $28.99. And Kraftwerk, this is Computer World, Kraftwerk Computer World, and that is on yellow vinyl, $28.99. $38.99. There's another Peter Tosh, Legalize It, and Malice, License to Kill. Malice is $38.99. Mitchell he thought he was buying Concert for Bangladesh. No, I don't have that one. I don't think they make that one on new vinyl. I don't think that's been repressed in some time. Mitchell, you should buy this anyway. If you like Concert for Bangladesh, you'll really like that. Brandon Jackson on Malice. That's the only copy I have left. That's a limited numbered music on vinyl pressing. I need to get more of those. So, all right, so that was our first crate. That was just a recap, but that was a crate, I think, from late last week with some really good new arrivals in it. Let me run through those one more time. Then we'll go through an actual new crate of new vinyl. I'll start Japanese auctions, and then we'll do our first crate of new vintage arrivals. New week, new invoicing. If anybody's watching new, you hadn't watched in a while, we do invoicing on Sundays and Mondays. That's the way things flow here. Monday starts a new cycle, meaning we don't combine invoices. Everything you buy tonight starts a whole new cycle. So I sent a guy a reminder who has 5 unpaid invoices, and he asked could he combine them all, and I said no, we can't. It'd been a lot better if you just paid them as they come in once a week. I think that's a pretty, it's not like we're sending one every day for $7. You pay them once a week, it's well worth the money, especially if you buy from us every week like most of y'all do. So he's like, I don't want to pay $35 shipping. And I was like, well, we've held some of these since February, and it's kind of fair to us because you've got a lot of records here. It's probably going to cost $35 to ship them. So that's what happens. Please pay your invoice as soon as possible. Don't let them stack up because you still got to pay $7 shipping. I think that's fair for both of us. Ivan asked, what's the George? And then Alvo said he wants it. Ivan, let me explain it to you. And then if you pass, it's sold to Alvo Dabney. This is a 4 LP box set. It's just vinyl. They're in individually jackets. It does come with a booklet as well. It's a concert for George Harrison after he passed away. It's from 2002. Eric Clapton, Jeff Lynne, Paul McCartney, Tom Petty, Monty Python, Ravi Shankar, Ringo was there, etc. That's $149.99. Ivan, if you pass, it's sold to Alvo Dabney. One more quick run through this crate. Hank the 3, $42.99. That's on blue vinyl. 8 Mile, that is $119.99 for 8 Mile. That's a 4 LP. That's a new release from last week. Neil Young, Somewhere Under the Rainbow, $49.99. 2 of those left. 1973 live show. Stormtroopers of Death, $31.99. I know somebody wants that, so I'll go ahead and pull that out. This is Flying Dutchman compilation. That is $36.99. 1 left. Deja Voodoo by Government Mule, $46.99. Monk is $36.99. Oh Brother Art Thou, $44.99. We've got 3 of those left. There's the Johnny Cash. Last call on that. I know somebody already wants it. I just got to go back through those comments. Talking Heads is $31.99. Alvo Dabney does get the George Harrison. That is $31.99. System of a Down is $28.99. Madonna is $44.99. And Peter Tosh is $28.99. This is Kraftwerk Computer World, $28.99. And that's on yellow vinyl, $28.99. Okay. That was just a recap crate. Some good stuff left in there. Let me grab a new crate. I'll start with this one. Let me see. Yeah, let me start with this one. I don't have my waiting list sheet printed. I can go grab it right quick, but I think I can remember. It was mostly just singles people was a waiting list for. So, new stuff. I think there's some restocks, some stuff I hadn't had in a while. Actually, let me go to... I need to print this out because there was like 3 people on this waiting list. John Cougar Mellencamp, The Best That I Could. That is John Cougar, or actually John Mellencamp. Me and Ed was talking about this morning, how he changed his name. 2 LP, all of his great hits. Pink Houses, Jack and Diane, Small Town. That is $44.99. I've got 2 left for sale. Let me go grab my waiting list sheet. Let me go grab the waiting list sheet. I need to go ahead and I'll just read it off before I print it because there was some people waiting for this. So let me just I'll balance my laptop right over here for now. And let me pull up that sheet. Let's see. There was 2 people, Alan Case and Paul Brothers. I thought so. Alan Case and Paul Brothers on the John Mellencamp waiting list. I got 2 left, $44.99. Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits. Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits, $31.99. And this is new. It's called Daisy Jones and the Six Aurora. And this is on translucent blue colored vinyl, $33.99. We were talking about this show. I think, last night. It's a series about influenced or based upon the life of Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, and that is $33.99. Daisy Jones and the Six, $33.99. I've got 2 of those, and I hope I can get more. Josh Lovins is a new buyer. He would like the Johnny Cash. Josh, welcome. I'm going to tag your name on this. Here's how things work. This is our first sale of the week. We're going to have 5 more sales after tonight. We do $7 unlimited shipping. As much as you want to buy. We don't have a website. We do have a store, but we sell exclusively here on YouTube and Facebook almost every night. This is sold to you. Just send us a message with your email address and your mailing address, and we're going to invoice you on Sunday or Monday. It depends on what letter your name starts with. Tanner did about the first half on Sunday. So what was Josh? You may get an invoice on Sundays. People with a higher alphabet first name gets theirs on Sunday usually. Now we have so many customers. So that Johnny Cash is sold to you. Thank you. And then both Daisy Jones and the Sixes are sold. Jim Nilsson and John Burlingame both got one of those. Those are sold and sold. Okay. We have Hello Ken from Vegas. Vegas is on my bucket list for this year. I plan on going out there. Hopefully to see you too, but that's not confirmed. Kraftwerk Technopop. Kraftwerk is $28.99. That's on colored vinyl. It's either silver or clear, something that kind of matches the cover. There was a waiting list for this. Fred Carnell. Fred Carnell, I've already got you down for one. I have one extra. That's Kraftwerk Technopop. I have one copy of Genesis Selling England by the Pound. There was one person on a waiting list for this. That was Chris Kirkley. Chris, I've already got you one pulled. $28.99 if anybody else wants that other one. Luke Combs, What You See Is What You Get is $33.99. 2 people on a waiting list for this one that's already been pulled. Sherry Darnell and Amy Hutchings. I've already got you one pulled. And a restock of the every popular Forrest Gump soundtrack. Forrest Gump soundtrack. And Allison Campbell. You was on a waiting list for that. We got a lot of stuff back in stock that was on a waiting list. This is $36.99. $36.99 for the Forrest Gump soundtrack. That's 2 LP. The music on vinyl pressing is still available. I don't stock it anymore because it's $54.99 now. And this is the same track. It's not music on vinyl, but it's the same tracks. So it's $18 cheaper too. So I'm stocking this one now instead of the music on vinyl. If you're a music on vinyl collector, let me know. I can get that for you. But that's went up almost $15 since I first started selling it. Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band. I've never had this one before. The Traveler. Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band, The Traveler, $36.99. 2 of those available. Haven't had this in a while. Billy Strings Home. Billy Strings is $33.99. And this has been out of stock. I expect a waiting list for this. Dixie Chicks, Wide Open Spaces, $29.99. That hadn't been available in quite some time. I don't think those were too cheap either. $29.99. Dixie Chicks, Wide Open Spaces. One random copy of Aerosmith's Greatest Hits, $28.99. Aerosmith's Greatest Hits, $28.99. Roy Edmonds on Billy Strings. That's sold to Roy Edmonds. Have I missed anything else in the comments? I don't think so. Joseph Snow wants a Dixie Chicks, and so does Allison Campbell. Dixie Chicks and Dixie Chicks. Those are sold and sold. Like I said, I expect a waiting list. Just like Fly, they're very relatively available. I must have just had 2 back ordered. I saw that they had shipped, and I was like, I wish I was having 10 on the way because we sell the heck out of those here and in the store. Jerry Stone first on the waiting list, if that's okay with Jerry. I'm sure he is. I'm surprised I didn't have a waiting list for this, but I don't, and I've got several in stock now. Slipknot, Iowa. Fortunately, they're still pressing colored vinyl. This is Slipknot, Iowa, limited edition translucent green vinyl. It's more of like a Coke bottle green, if y'all know what I'm talking about. $36.99. And here's a restock from U2 that I haven't had in quite some time, if ever. I don't think I've ever had this in stock on new vinyl. U2 Under a Blood Red Sky. That is $33.99. Paul Brothers also on the Dixie Chicks Wide Open Spaces wait list. We got that for Paul Brothers as well. Richard Allen wants U2. That is Under a Blood Red Sky live. Boy, I like this stuff here. The Electric Co, Gloria, I Will Follow. Great U2 stuff there. That's sold to Richard Allen. Dwayne Sevilla also wants one. Sorry, how much was AS Aerosmith? Aerosmith's greatest hits is $28.99. $28.99. This was a new release last week. It's a reissue of a rare psych album. $33.99, or I don't know how rare, but it's one of those like underground psych records that everybody loves. Maybe it is. It says rare as hell, so it probably is. Pressed on Hellfire red vinyl. It's actually called CA Quintet Trip Through Hell, $33.99. $33.99. Patrick Johnson wants a Slipknot Iowa. Sell that to Patrick Johnson. Let's see here. U2 is $33.99. U2 is $33.99. Paul Brothers also wants one. And we have Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. Motley Crue is $33.99. Dr. Feelgood. I think I just pulled a U2 for Paul Brothers. That means I need to pull one for John Sheehan. And I have one left. There's one for Jerry Stone. There's one for Jerry Stone. I figured that one would sell out. Names are still coming in. So the last three I pulled there was for Paul Brothers, John Sheehan, and Jerry Stone. The first name on the waiting list will be Fred Carnell. Fred Carnell III. So, and Josh Lovin says he wants the Dr. Feelgood. Josh, this is also sold to you. $33.99. That was supposed to be in the other bin. Let me go ahead and show it. I've got one extra of Dr. Feelgood. That was in the extra bin, or that was in the other bin. I used that for our thumbnail image, which may have got Josh to click on the feed. Sometimes I put something very enticing as the thumbnail image. So if you don't know this, whenever you go Facebook Live, whatever your camera is pointed at is the thumbnail image. So I see some people go live and it's like they're looking down at the camera. People going live on their personal account. Not a very appealing image sometimes. I'm like, they don't know about thumbnail images, I guess. You can go through after you're live and actually set it, but I just hold in front of the camera whatever I want to be the thumbnail image for like 10 seconds. Yes, the Motley Crue is the 40th anniversary. 40th anniversary. Okay, one more time on this new bin, and then we'll start with our vintage stuff, and we'll start with new Japanese stuff, which there's some great new Japanese arrivals for tonight. I may or may not give you a preview. John Mellencamp, The Best That I Could, 1978 to 1988, 2 LP, $44.99. Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits, $31.99. Kraftwerk Technopop, colored vinyl, $28.99. Genesis Selling England by the Pound, also $28.99. The very popular Luke Combs, What You See Is What You Get. I've heard that a few times, unintentionally. Beer Never Broke My Heart, $33.99. Forrest Gump soundtrack is $36.99. Forrest Gump soundtrack is $36.99. David Eberly wants a Mellencamp. Brett Milelin says he will take it. That was for the Motley Crue Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood. So Brett on that. Before that, it was David Eberly on Mellencamp. I've got 2 copies of a Kenny Wayne Shepherd I've never had, The Traveler. That is $36.99. 1 copy of Aerosmith's Greatest Hits, $28.99. And Slipknot Iowa. Slipknot Iowa is $36.99. Slipknot Iowa, $36.99. That's on Coke bottle colored green vinyl. And that psych album I was telling you about, CA Quintet, Trip Through Hell, $33.99. Tammy Hinkle on Aerosmith, Greatest Hits. That's sold to Tammy Hinkle. Okay, anybody else? I don't know. John priced a lot of vintage. Let me go over here. I usually try to start with our check condition bin first. Oh my gosh. Seth has it up top for us. The first record has to go up for auction. Where did this come from? The Cult Electric. Oh my gosh. David, I don't have any more Daisy Jones in the 6, but if you want on the wait list, let me know. the Colt Electric. This is a VG Plus copy. VG Plus copy. It's been, it's unfortunately not mint. I wish I could say it was. Usually these are mint. You know, if I have a copy of this, it's usually nice. Side 1 is definitely better than side 2. Not a bad looking copy whatsoever though. That is the stronger side of VG Plus. $35 start. That's the Colt Electric. I lied. We're not going to start with Japanese auctions. Let me see what else is in the check condition bin. That's a good indicator of, wow. Well, some other really good looking stuff. Let me see what pressing this Kiss Hotter Than Hell is. If it's an possibly a first press, I'll throw it up for auction, or an earlier one. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good bin. Let me mix up a couple of these Jimi Hendrix records. Hint, hint. And yeah, pretty good looking crate here. So, all right. Let me set this aside. That was our first crate of new vinyl. I've got a whole nother cram-packed crate for you. Let's do a crate of new arrivals in check condition. Josh says, I need that Colt album. You can bid, and it will be yours as long as you're the high bidder when I say sold. I am going to go ahead and grab our first Japanese auction because I didn't see anything else in here except maybe that Kiss record, but I'll do that in a second. This is also a check condition Japanese pressing. This is the Top Gun soundtrack, the original Top Gun soundtrack. We've graded this one VG Plus, meaning it's not pristine like you would normally see with these Japanese pressings, but it's not bad. And of course this one just collectible for what it is, the now classic Top Gun soundtrack. We got the 2-page flip. That's very good. No condition notes with that. We got a couple solicitations. And very nice cover of Obi. That's also a $35 start. So our first two auctions are $35 starts. The Colt Electric and the Top Gun soundtrack. Martin Pryor's in on the Colt. Okay, new vintage arrivals, check condition. We have Neil Young, self-titled, VG Plus $24.99. This is Neil Young's first solo album, VG Plus $24.99. This is my favorite. Everybody knows This Is Nowhere is probably a close second, but that's got some great stuff on it. VG Plus $24.99. Cream, goodbye. We've had a lot of Cream lately. This is an EX copy, meaning very clean, very nice, $37.99. $37.99, but this has the poster with it. This does have the poster with it. Includes the poster, $37.99. Cream, goodbye. EX copy, $37.99. Bob Dylan, Nashville Skyline, VG Plus $24.99. An original Columbia 2i pressing, VG Plus $24.99. And that has the original Columbia inner sleeve with it too. Nashville Skyline, recorded here, just right down the road in Nashville. Steve Miller Band, Brave New World, VG copy, $12.99 for Steve Miller. Brave New World, VG copy, $12.99. Paul McCartney, VG Plus, $19.99 for Paul McCartney on the Black Capitol label. Black Capitol label. A couple different versions of that people look for, especially if you get into the weeds collecting Beatles records. Bob Dylan, New Morning. This is an EX copy, $32.99. Very clean in shrink wrap. It is EX though. A couple scuffs on that one. Alvo Dabney, first on Cream. That's Goodbye Cream, sold to Alvo Dabney, and Tammy Hinkle wants the Steve Miller Band. Those are both sold. Let's get everybody updated on our auctions. There was 3 different people bid $35 on this. Martin Pryor was first, so he still has the bid. This has a very nice jacket. It's VG Plus or better. The vinyl is VG Plus. The vinyl is VG Plus, and it does have the original inner sleeve. That is at $35 of Martin Pryor. It was Martin, Randy, and I think somebody else. Jim Nielsen bid first on Top Gun, also at $35. The vinyl on it is a Japanese VG Plus. That's a Japanese VG Plus. Really nice cover. It has the insert and a couple other small inserts with it as well. Martin's at $37 on the Colt. Tammy Hinkle wants the Paul McCartney as well. Randy's at $40 on the Colt, and Josh is at $45. There's where we're at. Continuing with the new vintage arrivals. Otis and Jimmy. That's Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix, an EX copy, $39.99, 1970 That was a 1970 Santa Maria press. That's Otis Redding, Jimi Hendrix. That's live at the Monterey Pop Festival. One side's Jimmy, one side's Otis Redding. That's not a bad combo. I wish they were still touring like that. Could you imagine? Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu. This is a VG copy, $14.99. Deja Vu is $14.99. That is a 4-digit original. I don't want to call it a first press because it has a gold record award sticker, which usually doesn't mean a first press, but it's got a early label on it. George Jones, King of Broken Hearts. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. I would have remembered that cover. That's a VG Plus $14.99 for George Jones, King of Broken Hearts. Chris Christopherson, The Silver-Tongued Devil and I. Chris Christopherson is $12.99, EX copy. And we have Boz Scaggs, our nightly copy of Silk Degrees. That's a VG copy, $9.99. Silk Degrees, that's a VG copy, $9.99. All right, so we pulled Paul McCartney. We had the Colt 40, Colt 45, Top Gun 38, Colt 47, Colt 55. David Eberly wants the CSNY. That's so did David Eberly. Toby Grimm on George Jones. Toby Grimm was first to George Jones. Marshall second. David Tate fourth. Tim Holloway fifth. Francis Drennan sixth. Josh Lovins is at 60 on the Colt. So 60 on the Colt, 38 on Top Gun. Going once, going twice on Top Gun. I think we still may be bidding on the Colt. Pink Floyd, The Final Cut. EX, $37.99. This is a 1983 Pittman pressing. Boy, we got some nice records in here that are just a couple stray marks from not being in the check condition bin. This is one of them. This doesn't look bad whatsoever. That is like on the borderline of being in not the check condition bin. I remember looking at that. I was like, wow, surprised to see that in here. $37.99. The Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade. This is a VG Plus, $24.99. The Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade, VG Plus, $24.99. And Pink Floyd Metal. Pink Floyd Metal. This is a 71 Winchester press. EX, $59.99. Kirk Fields wants Final Cut. Kirk Fields on Final Cut. And this is Pink Floyd Metal. EX, $59.99. And that is 71 Winchester. That's an OG press. Jim Nielsen's at 40 on Top Gun. So that's got a new bid. I think everybody's out on the Colt. John's out. Randy's out. Josh Lovins has the Colt for $60, going twice, going 3 times. The Doors, absolutely live. EX copy, $34.99. The Doors, EX, $34.99, absolutely live. And Allman Brothers, Beginnings, VG Plus, $24.99. VG Plus Beginnings, $24.99. That's a reissue of their first 2 albums, like a 2-in-1. VG Plus, $24.99. Paul's back in on Top Guns. Final call on the Colt before I sell it. The Chirping Sodbury Bonfire Tapes, Chaos UK. Chaos UK, VG Plus, $24.99. That's a 1989 US pressing. Did I get on the list for the new Metallica? If you were wanting a purple one, then if you don't have it on this week's invoice, then you didn't get one. I also posted a list of everybody who got a purple one. But if you don't have one on this week's invoice, then no. And if you didn't get a black one on this week's invoice, then no. And if you need one, let me know. If you need one, let me know. Greg Brummett on the Allman Brothers Band. And Chaos UK is the band. That is this record right here. The Chipping Sodbury Bonfire Tapes. Okay, so who else was bidding on Top Gun? Jim Nielsen. Jim, let me know if you're in or out on Top Gun. I'm going to go ahead and sell the Colt to Josh Lovins for $60. Josh Lovins gets that for $60. And Jim is back in on Top Gun. Shake a Leg, Live and Loud. VG Plus, $14.99. Shake a Leg, Live and Loud. And we have Missing Person Spring Session. VG, $9.99. I do not have any purple. I had 89, and then after the fact, after I made a post, over 100 orders for purple, I only got 30 copies. I've told both my distributors if they would have pressed more, I definitely could have sold them. But I have this many purple. I only have black vinyl. They're $39.99 if anybody wants a copy. Paul's out on Top Gun. I'm going to put that over here in position 1. Final call, the Jim Nielsen, $46. The Blues Volume 2, VG Plus, $14.99. The Blues Volume 2, VG Plus, $14.99. Chuck Berry, John Lee Hooker, Howlin' Wolf, etc. Buffalo Springfield Again. This is a VG copy, 1999. Buffalo Springfield Again. That's a VG copy, 1999. And Iron Tyrants. Iron Tyrants. That's VG, 1999. Iron Tyrants. Okay, Eric says he'll take a black. If anybody else wants one, just say Metallica. This is for 72 seasons on black vinyl, $39.99. There's one for Eric. We have James on blues. James on blues. Chris second. Rydell third. Steve Botsford 4. And let's see here. Is the Buffalo stereo or mono? Buffalo Springfield is in stereo. That is in stereo. Let's see here. Next is David Bowie. John, I'm Only Dancing Again. Previously unreleased versions. Never seen that before. David Bowie is a VG Plus, $26.99. That's a 1979 UK. 79 UK. David Bowie. John, I'm Only Dancing Again. And John, I'm Only Dancing from the Young Americans Sigma sound. Wow, a couple different unreleased versions of that song. We have Second Helping, Leonard Skinner. Wow, this is a Sounds of the South press. Original label. VG Plus, $44.99. VG Plus, $44.99. That is the OG press of that record. Leonard Skinner's second album. Eric Smalley. Eric Smalley. Parliament. Funkenteleki. Parliament is a VG copy, $49.99. That's a 77 Terre Haute. Boy, don't get that one too often. That's a good one too. Hey, that one has flashlight on it. $49.99. VG copy, 77 Terre Haute. All right, first I'm going to sell Top Gun. Top Gun is sold to Jim Nilsson, $46. I'm about to put up 2 new auctions. That's sold to Jim Nilsson for $46. Dwayne was first on the OG Skinner. That's sold to Dwayne Sevilla. And 4 people on Parliament. And that is sold to Aaron Gardner. Aaron Gardner was first, then Wayne Titsworth, then Rydell Martin, then Robbie Matthew. We have Arthur Kay and the Originals, Rare and Tasty, Invisible Ska Years, a VG copy, $19.99. $19.99. Beastie Boys, She's On It, Hold It Now, Slow and Low, Def Jam, VG Plus, $19.99. Produced by Rick Rubin. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, a VG copy for $24.99. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, a VG copy, $24.99. Let me grab a couple new auctions. I'll put up the Kiss. I don't know what pressing it is. If not, I'll just make it a buy it now. And let's do another soundtrack. We have a Near Mint and Pristine, always requested, Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack. This is Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack. Near Mint and Pristine, Japanese pressing. Absolutely nothing wrong with this one. Looks like it's unplayed. There's the LP. There's the original insert. Looks like the back cover, you can see a little bit of the foxing. Other than that, that's very nice. And that's a $35 start. $35 start. Okay, let me see what pressing we have here with the Kiss. It's a VG copy. I think this should be a blue Casablanca label to at least have a chance of being a first press. So I'll still put it up for auction. I like this album. I listen to this one quite often. This is, of course, it's got some of those early great hits on like Parasite and Hotter Than Hell, but some of these songs here on side 2 I really like. So it is a lower grade copy for sure, but I'll go ahead and put it up for auction. It's a VG. I'm going to put that up for a $15 start. Kiss, Hotter Than Hell. Okay, now we had some claims. Chris DeMoss was first to BB. That's the Beastie Boys. Chris was first. Chris DiLorenzo was second. Sean Fairweather first on Pink Floyd. Kirk Fields was second. Gavin was third. Aston The Condition. We have a bid on Eddie and the Cruisers at $35. And we have a bid on Kiss at $20. Steely Dan, Countdown to Ecstasy. VG copy, $19.99. First label. First label. Countdown to Ecstasy. That's a VG condition, $19.99. Blood on the Tracks, EX, $32.99. Tangled Up in Blue, first track. That's not bad at EX, $32.99. That one don't stay around too long. And Band of Gypsies, Jimi Hendrix, VG Plus $24.99. Band of Gypsies, VG Plus $24.99. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything before that. Eddie and the Cruisers, 35, going once, going twice. Kiss, 25. Kiss, 20, Kiss, 25. John Porter first on Steely Dan. And let's see here. Yeah, that is one of Dylan's greatest. Yes, the SOD, I set it aside because I think somebody claimed one in a flip video and I hadn't pulled it yet from like last week. And but yes, this is the 2LP 30th anniversary edition. I think I have another one, $31.99. But Martin, you can take that because I know I have another one. Joe Gabriel first on Jimi Hendrix. We got a new bid on Eddie and the Cruisers at 36 and a new bid on Kiss at 26. So 36 and 26 on those. Near mint pristine Japanese pressing of Obi. That's a VG Plus. Bob Dylan is $32.99. I'm going to roll through these one more time. That was our first vintage bin of the night. All check condition. Then I have a crate of new vinyl. I've got a crate of new vinyl. Surprised no one grabbed this. Neil Young, self-titled, VG Plus $24.99. Bob Dylan, Nashville Skyline is VG Plus $24.99. Nashville Skyline, that's on the original label, stereo press. New Morning is in shrink wrap, EX $32.99. And then somebody said their connection cut out earlier. I think Charlie DeFrank. Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix is EX $39.99. That's a 1970 Santa Maria press, EX $39.99. Chris Christopherson, The Silver Tongued Devil and I. Christopherson is EX $12.99. And Boz Scaggs, Silk Degrees, VG $9.99. Martin Pryor, I'll go ahead and tag you for SOD. And then Greg Rogers, if you could let me know which Dylan. I have a feeling Greg wanted Blood on the Tracks, but I did show a couple others. So Greg, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and tag you for Blood on the Tracks. Let me know if that's not right. Eddie and the Cruisers is now at 37 with Jim Nilsson. Michelle, you're out. And the high bid on Kiss is at 30 with Randy Tabrin. The Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade. That's a compilation. VG Plus $24.99. Great tracks on that one. Surprised no one grabbed Metal. Tougher and tougher to get OGs of this. It's EX $59.99. Whole side 2 is one song, and it's amazing. It's called Echoes. $59.99. Pink Floyd Metal. The Doors, Absolutely Live. EX copy $34.99. The Chaos UK, the Chipping Sodbury Bonfire Tapes, VG Plus $24.99. Ryan Foster on Pink Floyd. Ryan's going to grab the Pink Floyd Metal. We have Shake a Leg, official bootleg. That's a VG Plus $14.99. And Missing Person, Spring Session M. Somebody said that was a anagram. What did somebody said earlier? Something about the dots and the dashes, maybe? I never noticed that. VG $9.99. So Ryan got the Pink Floyd. Michelle is back in on Eddie and the Cruisers at 38. Mike Massey first on Chaos UK. Greg did want the Tangled Up in Blue. We've already tagged that. David Eberly wants Pink Floyd Metal. Metal is already sold. Metal's already sold. Ryan Foster just grabbed that one. Iron Tyrants is a VG $19.99. Buffalo Springfield again, a VG copy $19.99. The David Bowie single, 1979 UK, John, I'm Only Dancing, VG Plus $26.99. And Arthur K. and the Originals, Rare and Tasty, VG copy $19.99. Marshall Bassett first on Missing Persons. That's sold to Marshall Bassett, Missing Persons. That leaves 2 auctions up for bid. Michelle is at 38 on Eddie and the Cruisers. So Jim Nelson, you're out. Michelle has that for 38. Michelle has that for 38, going once, going twice. And Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, is at 32 with Tim Holloway. 32 with Tim Holloway. Marshall got Missing Persons, and Colin wants Arthur. So that leaves these: David Bowie, Buffalo Springfield, Iron Tyrants, Shake a Leg, The Doors, The Stones, Boz Scaggs, Christopherson, Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix, Dylan, and Neil Young. Someone had Eddie at 40. Eddie, that's Paul Brothers. Okay, never mind. Paul Brothers is at 40 on Eddie and the Cruisers. He's at 40 on Eddie and the Cruisers. So Paul Brothers has Eddie and the Cruisers for $40. He just bid again. Joe Ives wants the Buffalo Springfield. I do need to do a final call that looks like on KISS. It looks like it may have slowed down. Tim Holloway's at $32. This is a VG copy. This is a VG copy of KISS Hotter Than Hell. And that was high bid on that. High bid on KISS was $32 with Tim Holloway. Okay, Robbie says, how much for Otis and Hendrix? Otis is $39.99. Otis and Hendrix, EX copy. EX copy. Combo deal on Iron Tyrant and Neil Young. Jim's out on Eddie and the Cruisers. So that's going twice, going 3 times to Paul Brothers, and final call on KISS. Terry, these two here, Robbie Matthews said sold on Hendrix and Otis. That's sold to Robbie Matthew. I don't know if I want to discount Neil Young, but if you're buying both of them, I'll do $5 off. That will be $40 for the pair. $40 for the pair. We'll call those, yeah, we'll call those $40 for the pair. New arrivals, they are check condition. I'm more prone to discount check condition new arrivals than anything. Terry said sold on Neil Young. So however you want to do that, Seth. One for 20, the other for 20. However it comes out to 40. Anybody else before I put up new vinyl? By the way, when we got done sending, or when we got done creating invoices, I left out, it got overlooked, we didn't get a crate, a little stack of 45s keyed in. So some people got invoices, and I went through and added those 45s, which is very difficult to do after you send an invoice. That's why we normally don't add stuff. But I was able to get it done. A couple of y'all had already paid. Terry, you're one of them. Terry, you had bought a Foreigner, and I think Greg Rogers, you bought a Led Zeppelin, Japanese. There was 2 people who bought some 45s who did not get invoiced. And we're just going to put them, since you've already paid, we'll just get them on this week's invoice. I think it was Greg Rogers on a Led Zeppelin, Japanese 45, and Terry Westwood on your Foreigner 45. So if y'all were missing those, some people get their invoice, they pay, and they don't even realize they're missing something. That's most people. Most of y'all keep track of it meticulously, or some of y'all keep track of it meticulously, and y'all know exactly what you bought, what night, who was the backup bidder. If not, y'all go back and spend hours watching the feed. So that's what happened. Okay, let's go ahead and sell Eddie and the Cruisers to Paul Brothers for $40. And KISS Hotter Than Hell is sold to Tim Holloway for, that was $32. Yeah, $32 to Tim Holloway. 32 for KISS Hotter Than Hell, and Paul Brothers got Eddie and the Cruisers for 40. Okay, Stacy, I did get your KISS 45. I added it later. Yes. Okay, I don't know if there's a storm going through. There's nothing going on here. So somewhere between here and the servers, y'all were having some bad connections. So sorry about that. Nothing we can do about that. Hopefully it gets better. So the wallflowers, as you can tell, I got a bunch of them in stock. If you don't have one of this already, I thank everybody but one person. I think Fred Carnell, you were the last person on the waiting list. I've got yours pulled. This is the Wallflowers Bringing Down the Horse. This is $34.99, 20th anniversary edition on 2LP. That is $34.99. We've got several of those in stock. The Wallflowers Bringing Down the Horse. New, I haven't had this in a long time. I thought it was done. I didn't know they was going to make any. U2 singles. U2 singles, this is $38.99. U2 singles, $38.99. 2LP, that's U2, 18 singles, 18 singles. All of their single releases. I've got 2 of those, $38.99. Let me see how our connection looks. Let's see. Our connection here is beautiful. We're actually streaming. We're doing really high, and we haven't had any drops either, it looks like. So somewhere between the server, somewhere y'all are having problems, but our end's great. Our end is great. Let's see here. I'll take a Wallflowers. Josh, if you didn't have one on the invoice that just went out, so let me know, you might want to go check the invoice you just got if you have it already. If not, I'll go ahead and tag you one. So Josh Ragland for Wallflowers. We got David Sweevil on YouTube Singles. There's David Sweevil on YouTube Singles. Eddie Perseer wants a Wallflowers. Anybody else? Those were out of print for a while. $34.99 on that. So David Sweevil on YouTube. Eddie Perseer on Wallflowers. David Eberly also on YouTube, and Paul Brothers. David Sweevil, David Eberly, and Paul Brothers. That was the next two. That was the three on YouTube. And we'll probably need to take a waiting list for that one. So if anybody is interested on a wait list for YouTube 18 singles, let me know. That is $38.99. All the Wallflower lists have been confirmed. So you might want to check your most recent invoice, because I know for sure I had like 9 people on a waiting list, and we got all those in last week. So you might want to check your most recent waiting list. Those have already been deleted. They were on my laptop. Those have already been tagged and deleted, so I'm not real for sure. So Mike Massey's in a van down by the river. Wow. Okay, so I'll go over the YouTube waiting list in just a second. If anybody else wants one, let me know on that waiting list, $38.99. And then Eric and Josh, let me know if you need a Wallflowers. I think everybody's got one of these now, but if you don't already, this is Collective Soul, Hence Allegations and Things Left Unsaid. Hence Allegations and Things Left Unsaid. That is $34.99. Collective Soul, Hence Allegations and Things Left Unsaid. $34.99. Okay, so on the waiting list for YouTube singles, YouTube 18 singles, we need to put Kristen Barnett down and Mike Massey. Mike Massey, 2 on that. James, that was YouTube 18 singles. Collective Soul is $34.99. We got a restock of the very cool AC/DC Rock or Bust. Can y'all see how that lenticular, that's one of the most action-activated lenticulars I've ever seen. I mean, it really looks like it's exploding. You know, some lenticulars, you turn them. This one, it's like you're looking at a live picture. $31.99 for YouTube Rock or Bust. They did a good job with that one. By the way, this is the US version. We've had an import in stock that was like $5 more. The US lenticular works better, just FYI. $31.99. Krista Moss on AC/DC, Rock or Bust. Dwayne wants one, and so does David Sweevil. So all 3 of those are sold. Krista Moss, Dwayne Sevilla, and David Sweevil. Aerosmith Pump. Aerosmith Pump is $36.99. I've only got 1 copy. This and Get a Grip are those 2 later Aerosmith albums that are kind of hard to get. This came out in 1989. 1989 is when we really started seeing vinyl production start going downhill. Cassettes, CDs making a rise. So anything from 88, 87, 88, 89 onward, getting tougher to find originals of on vinyl. Even back then, you probably went to a lot of stores and there was more cassettes of this on the shelf than there was vinyl. That's $36.99. And we were talking about this the other night. And this is Fleetwood Mac, The Dance. Fleetwood Mac, The Dance. $41.99. We were talking about the song Silver Springs, which she does a very popular live version of here. And by the way, this is like live in the studio. I don't think they're actually in front of an audience. This is like live at Burbank. They may be in front of a small audience, but it's at Burbank Studios, what it says when you stream it. 1997 live album, Dreams Don't Stop the Chain, the classic Fleetwood Mac lineup. By the way, these jackets are extremely fragile. I mean, this is the thinnest jacket to store 2 LPs I've ever seen. So just go ahead and let you know, these can easily get smushed. Just FYI. We had somebody order 3 of them to keep sealed, and he got them. They were all dinged, and he wanted some more. I think we sent him 3 more, and those got dinged. It's a very fragile jacket. I was like, hey, I can't send you any more of these. They're not going to get to you mint. I don't think we could wrap them in a steel vault, because any kind of pressure you put on that, it's just FYI. That's not the best jacket. I recommend getting this, taking the records out, and never touching the jacket again. Keep them behind the jacket. It'll be okay. All right, so Pump, we only had 1. We'll definitely need to take a wait list for that. That goes to Kristen Barnett, Aerosmith Pump. And then we'll put Scotty Hypes down for 1 and James Rayner down for 1. And then the 2 Fleetwood Macs are sold to James Bragg and Jim Nielsen. Those are sold and sold. And let's put down Eric Fisher. He does need a Wallflowers. Eric Fisher does need a Wallflower. So everything in here is sold except for 2 titles. What's that? Everything in here is sold except for 2 titles. This is the Wallflowers, $34.99. This is Bringing Down the Horse. That is a 2LP 20th Anniversary Edition, $34.99. And Collective Soul, Hence Allegations and Things Left Unsaid, $34.99. Collective Soul, $34.99. So that's what I have left in that crate. We'll go back through the other crate of new vinyl in just a second. Not before. I don't have any auctions up. Let me see what I got in our Japanese bin, and then we'll start a crate of new vinyl. You might want to text him, see where he's at. I have no idea. Right before we went live, he said he was finishing up Invoices. Nexus, keeping up with this Nexus tax really slows us down. Boy, what is this? Grand Metal Live? Is that the name of the band? That looks interesting. And while we're doing that, let's put up a Saxon. Denim and leather. Uh-oh. We got some pretty cool, interesting Japanese stuff here. Let me go ahead and introduce these auctions. Before I bring a new crate of vintage up. We have Grand Metal Live. I'm assuming that's the artist. 5th Japan Heavy Metal Fantasy. Or is this like some kind of festival? I've never heard of Grand Metal. This is going to be a $45 start. It is a different artist. 44 Magnum, Merino, 44 Magnum, Merino, Rajas, and Mexico Hanjo. Looks like maybe Japanese metal artist. Let's see here. It's got a book, 5th Japan Heavy Metal Fantasy. This is a $45 start. Yeah, looks like different artists. Also Blizzard and X-Ray. And that's a $45 start. Tell you what, it's a cool looking stage. Yeah. Yes, Eric Fisher. You've already tagged one for him? Okay, so I already pulled one for Josh Ragland. Okay. Josh didn't want it. Okay. Gotcha. Eric, we got you down for Wallflowers. Josh, we don't have you down for Wallflowers. Alan's in on Grand Metal and Saxon, Denim and Leather. Saxon is going to be a $55 start. Saxon, Denim and Leather. This is a near mint and pristine. By the way, no condition notes on that one. Also near mint and pristine. $55 start. Nice Japanese inner sleeve. Nothing wrong with that. Very nice cover and obi. 1 tear here on the obi down here at the bottom. And that's a $55 start. Saxon, Denim and Leather, and Grand Metal. Those are both up for bid. Let me grab our next crate of new vintage arrivals. New vintage arrivals. We'll go back through anything that doesn't sell tonight at least one more time. At some point, I've got some new arrivals here. Let me go ahead and mix some of these up. Boy, there's some good titles. Once again, right off the bat, at least from the front part of the crate. Let's see what else we have in here. Aha! Alrighty. A couple sealed records. Alright. He said he already had one. Okay, good. Saxon's a $55 start. Grand Metal's at $50 with Alan Totten. New vintage arrivals. New vintage arrivals. Saxon and Grand Metal. We have Ted Nugent Free for All. Ted Nugent is $29.99. That is sealed. Original sealed copy. No saw marks on this one or punch holes. $29.99 for Ted Nugent Free for All. Sealed retail copy. The Escape Club Wild Wild West is also sealed. $29.99. That is also sealed. No, well, that's got a small saw mark on it. It does. $29.99. for the Escape Club, Wild Wild West. Dennis Nelson first on Ted Nugent. Joe Gabriel was second. Wild Wild West is also sealed for $29.99. Leo Sayer is sealed. Leo Sayer is $19.99. Sealed copy. Looks like it has some, it's got a saw mark. Looks like it got wet at one point down there on the cover. That's called Living in a Fantasy. $19.99 for that. So Dennis got Ted Nugent, Fred Carnell on the Escape Club. Those are both sold. What do we have here? It looks like a classical record somebody scratched all over, but it's actually another Monty Python record. Monty Python is also sealed. $19.99, unopened. This one's called Another Monty Python Record. It looks like they took a Beethoven and scribbled all over it. That's just the way it's made. Sealed, $19.99. The Bee Gees, Peace of Mind, also sealed, $14.99. This one's a cutout. It's got some damage to the cover, even though it's sealed. It's a Pickwick record. Bee Gees is $14.99, and that is sealed. All right, so Grand Medals at 55 with Allen. Fred Carnell wanted the Escape Club. We've already pulled that. Grand Medal is now at 60. Grand Medal is now at 60. Terry Westwood was first to the Monty Python. Alan Totten was second. Fred Carnell is in on Saxon at $55. That's sold to Fred, or that is with Fred Carnell. And next we have Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. I wish this was sealed, but it's not. Let me make sure it doesn't have the poster. No poster, $34.99. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits, $34.99. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. Jimmy Cliff in concert, the best of Jimmy Cliff, $24.99 for Jimmy Cliff, the best of, $24.99. Dylan's Greatest Hits. And Delbert McClinton, Plain from the Heart. Delbert McClinton is $14.99. Plain from the Heart, $14.99. Bobcat, that's the label. West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys, 12-inch single, $24.99. That's their hit song. And One More Chance, $24.99. Ivan Villavenicio on the Dylan's Greatest Hits. That's sold to Ivan. Final call, since Allen's out on Grand Medal, Brandon Jackson is at 60 on the Grand Medal Live, and Saxon is at 55 with Fred Carnell. Those are both going twice, going 3 times. Let's go ahead and sell Pet Shop Boys to Darren Wortman. Darren was first on that. Yeah, the cutouts are for promos, records that didn't sell. A lot of times they pressed a ton of a record. They didn't sell, so they cut the corner, they punch hold it, and they put it in a discount bin. That means it's you've probably heard the term, if you shopped at record stores in the 70s and 80s, the cutout bin. And that's where discounted records were sent. So a lot of times they still exist sealed. A lot of certain titles, we see sealed copies all the time. They just pressed way too many. They didn't sell too well. Actually, believe it or not, the Kiss solo records, the Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter albums, most of those ended up in the cutout bins originally. Those didn't sell too well initially. They do now, though. John Butcher, Wishes. John Butcher, Wishes, $14.99. There's no telling how many times I've had a complete set of sealed Kiss solo albums. It's been a while, but several times I've had all 4 of them sealed from where one person either bought them originally or somebody collected them sealed. They're out there. Whew. Wow. This just took my breath away. Was not expecting this. I didn't even see that when I flipped back through it. Let me adjust my neck. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, I'm going to have to go get a bottle of water. Excuse me for a second. Wow. Had no idea this was happening. I wish we could have prepared more. Right, Seth? What are you over here playing? RuneScape? Seth's over here playing RuneScape, Clash of Clans, and Tetris. He's over here playing 3 games at one time. Your dad commented on tonight's announcement, said, work those Hackett boys, and I meant to say I'm probably going to fire Seth. Seth probably wishes he was fired right now. Seth only shows up for work he wants to do, which is pricing Japanese records and keying in. If I ask him to do anything else, he usually he disappears and he leaves. So that's the quality of employees I'm working with here with Seth. Everybody else, tip top. Seth, hard to get work out of him. Okay. Has anybody claimed this? $9.99. This is Pablo Cruz, Worlds Away. $9.99. We're done here. Showstopper. I don't think anybody's claimed it. Moment of silence. Jackpot. And yes, it's the special. Is this the club edition? Is this the special club edition with the sun setting? Who claimed it? Brandon Jackson? I don't think anybody claimed it until right then. I think Brandon Jackson's first. Everybody needs a copy of Pablo Cruz, Worlds Away. I think Brandon says he needs one. Paul was second. Love will find a way. Wow. Goodness gracious. That's sold to Brandon Jackson. No debate there. Looks like Paul was in a close second. Did anybody claim John Butcher or anything else before that stole the show? I don't think so. All right, if you're new here and you have no idea what Pablo Cruz is, long story. Long story. Okay, Saxon, let's go ahead and end a couple auctions. Saxon is sold to Fred Carnell for $55. Denim and Leather is sold for $55. And Brandon just bought a Japanese metal record and he just bought a Pablo. Grand Metal is also sold to Brandon. That was for $60. Those are both sold. I'll lay that one there. Those are sold and sold. Let me go ahead and grab two new. I'm going to show two more records, then go grab two new records. Nucleus, Jam on Revenge. That is $39.99. $39.99. That's Nucleus Jam on Revenge. Brent, the West End single has already sold. You were second to that one. I don't know if I announced that, but you were second to that one. That's already been claimed. And the B-Boys, Stick Up Kid and Girls, and the B-Boys Girls, $9.99. Nucleus and the B-Boys. Let me go ahead and show two new Japanese records. Pablo is slowing down everybody's connection. I've got a couple more Saxon records. I'll kind of spread those out. But here's an awesome Queen record. Japanese pressing. This is one that I know y'all look for a lot of time on as a US, and we don't get it too much on that. And we'll throw up a random Air Supply, which happens to be a VG+. That's not good, but we will get these started. Let me go ahead and introduce this. There's people all the time asking this for an OG, a US OG. New vinyl, which is not in stock or in print right now. This is a very nice Japanese pressing of Queen Hot Space. Let's see what we have with it. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. Another one bites the dust, or no, excuse me, Under Pressure. Under Pressure's on here. Not Another One Bites the Dust. Under Pressure, of course. There's the original inner sleeve. There's the Japanese insert. And this one has something I don't think I've seen before. It has a little booklet with it. Like a little poster fold out kind of deal. Has information about Queen's discography there. Looks like a timeline. Yeah, there's Another One Bites the Dust. Very cool. This is a $65 start, and it's a top copy. That's a top Japanese pressing, Queen Hot Space. That's some good stuff, too. I like all the other tracks as well. Air Supply, $15 start. Lost in Love. This, unfortunately, is a VG+, not a pristine copy. VG+, Air Supply, Lost in Love, $15 start. There's the Japanese insert. There is the cover, a little bit of foxing on it. With Obi, $15 start. Okay, let's see here. Back up to the top. Josh Lovins wants the Nucleus record. That's sold to Josh Lovins, Nucleus. Josh, that's sold to you. We do have a $65, now a $66 on Queen, and Air Supply's at $15. Any Dwight Yoakam Japanese. I don't know if those were even pressed in Japan. I'm sure they were, but we've never seen them before. I've never seen Dwight Yoakam Japanese pressings. Not a lot of country, 80s country pressed in Japan, I'm assuming. If it was, not easy to get. Fleetwood Mac, $34.99. Fleetwood Mac, $34.99. That is self-titled Fleetwood Mac. Monday Morning, Blue Letter, Rhiannon, Over My Head. That's a very nice looking copy. $34.99 for the Mac. Paul McCartney, Venus and Mars. This feels awfully heavy. $24.99. Looks like it has several inserts with it. I see the poster and something else in there with it. That's $24.99 for Venus and Mars. George Buchanan first on Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac to George Buchanan. And The Who Live at Leeds, complete with all 12 documents, $49.99. I think John said this one's really nice. It has a couple spots on the cover, but he said the vinyl, all the inserts were really nice. Live at Leeds. Even has, I really like this with it. Has the picture, but it has the Who Maximum R&B poster when they were playing at the Marquee. Early days of the Who there. They're still going. They just put out a Live in Wembley album. I've seen them 3 times, all at the Bridgestone in Nashville. The Who Live at Leeds, that is $49.99. I think a couple people's already claimed it. Let's see here. George Buchanan got Fleetwood Mac. Toby Grimm was first to that. Toby Grimm first to the Who. That's always, when I say that one's complete, it's gone. We usually have it as a reissue. That one's complete with all the original documents. Austin's at $70 on Queen. Final call on the Air Supply. Patty's at $15 on the Air Supply. Patty Williams, final call. The Nearness of You, Frank Sinatra, $14.99 for The Nearness of You, Frank Sinatra, an original Capitol record. $14.99 on Sinatra. Wow, this is like the 3rd one we've had in a row. $34.99 for Cheech and Chong, and it does have the rolling paper. Does have the rolling paper, $34.99 for Big Bamboo, Cheech and Chong. Has not been smoked yet. Tyrone Power, is that what that says? $14.99. Tyrone Power. Yeah, Tyrone Power. Byron, maybe. Reading Byron. That is $14.99. Joseph Snow. Joseph Snow first on Frank Sinatra. And Stephen Tuttle was first to Cheech and Chong. Stephen Tuttle first to Cheech and Chong. Doc Smith said, Tyrone, let me see the back. Here's the back. It's Tyrone Power reading Poetry of Byron. That makes more sense now that I can see the back of it. That is $14.99. Looks like he's really getting into it there. Doc, if you don't want that, which he says pass, so that's sold to Steve Botsford. Steve Botsford on the Tyrone Power. The Oscar Peterson Collection, $19.99. The Oscar Peterson Collection, $19.99. 2 LPs on Verve. 2 LPs on Verve. That is $19.99. Steve says retract, Tyrone Power. So 2 passes on that. It's there if anybody wants it. Doc Smith first to Oscar Peterson. Queen is now at $72, and I'm going to go ahead and sell Air Supply to Patty Williams. That's for $15. Austin's at $72 on Queen. Doc Smith was first to Oscar. Roger Ramjet was second. We got 1 Japanese auction up. That means I need to grab another one. Let me pull something out of the back. I've been working from the front. I'll go ahead and do, wow, another Queen's in here. Can't do that one right now. How about more Air Supply, but the rest that's in here are near mint. Let's do a Police Synchronicity. That's always popular. With Obi, and it looks extremely nice. Queen, lots of people bidding on Queen now. 72, 75, 76. The Police Synchronicity. The Police Synchronicity. We're going to start this at 50. At 50. The Police Synchronicity. Vinyl is near mint and pristine. Near mint and pristine. There is the Japanese 2-page flip. Very nice, and a very nice cover with Obi. Classic Police album. Chris DiLorenzo is already in at 50. Chris and Austin still bidding on Queen. Austin has the high bid at 76. Grover Washington Jr., Inside Moves. Grover Washington Jr., $9.99 on Grover Washington Jr., $9.99. Ice Castles, original soundtrack album. Ice Castles. Music by Marvin Hamlish. 1999. Ice Castle soundtrack. Stray Cat Strut, 1999. Stray Cat Strut. That's Stray Cat's restart. Stray Cat Strut and Built for Speed. And Sweet Love on My Mind and Drink That Bottle Down. That's a 4-track Stray Cat. Stray Cats, 1999. The Buddy Miles Band, Chapter 5, 6, 7. Buddy Miles Band, 1999. Yasgi was at 51 on the Police. George is at 60. Fred bid 52. We already have 60. Chris is out. George Buchanan wants the Stray Cats. Craig was second. And Krista Moss was third on the Stray Cats. Sell Me the Queen. Well, the high bid is, let me figure out where we're at on it. Austin's at $76 on Hot Space. Let me do a final call. Austin Cauldron is at $76 on Hot Space. It's a near mint pristine. It's got 3 inserts with it, counting the inner sleeve. That's a 76. That's going twice, going 3 times. Then the Police was 51, 50, 51, 52, 60. And Fred claimed Buddy Miles, and then Doc asked how much. It sold first to Fred Carnell. I'm about to sell Queen, and the Police is at $60. Little River Band, self-titled, $9.99. Little River Band, $9.99. Stevie Nicks, The Wild Heart. Stevie Nicks is $19.99. Very clean copy. Very nice copy. John Porter, first to Little River Band. Chris DiLorenzo is in on the Police at 61. Ivan's in on Queen at 80. So 80 on Queen, 61 on the Police. The Rolling Stones, $39.99 Between the Buttons. This is a German press. It's in stereo. It's a pristine German press. Very, very nice copy. Jacket included. I don't know when that was pressed, but it's very nice. The Stones Between the Buttons, $39.99. George is out on the Police, so Chris did the $61 bid. Never mind, Fred's in at $62. We're still bidding on Queen. Stones is $39.99. Stephen Steele's Illegal Steals. Stephen Steele's is $19.99 for Illegal Steals. And B.W. Stevenson, My Maria, $14.99 for My Maria. B.W. Stevenson, orange, RCA label, $14.99. Now, I never say this right in the middle of the show. I always do it right when we're live, when everybody's getting on. But if you haven't already, if you're not buying anything, or even if you are buying things, we're selling records here. Sometimes we sell their things. The biggest thing you can do for us is share our feed. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a thumbs up button you can hit. Even if you're watching on Facebook and you hate sharing, you don't share anything, you don't post anything, you just get on Facebook and you watch. You can like our post, and that helps a lot. Just hitting the thumbs up button. That tells Facebook, hey, I like this post. A lot of other people like it. We have almost 20,000 followers on Facebook. Some people liked our page like 6 months ago, and they're seeing our feeds for the first time, they're telling me. So it's just the way algorithms work. So if you can share, hit a thumbs up, especially on YouTube. We're getting new subscribers all the time on there. They find our feed from all over the world. We got people from the Netherlands watching now. So that's like incredible to me that they find our feed just through YouTube promoting it. So I don't announce that too much because we get in the rhythm of selling and I forget to say that. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking any post. Even if I say we're having a sale tonight and you scroll by it and you see it, if you could hit the thumbs up button, the like button on anything, that helps out a lot. Okay, so the Police, Fred bid 62. Chris DiLorenzo's at 63. So Fred, you're out. That's at $63. Ivan says he's out on Queen. So Austin, it looks like you're going to have that for 82. Now I can say final call again. And Fred Carnell's backing on the Police at 65. And we're on Twitter as well, yes. You can't comment on Twitter. You cannot comment on Twitter, but you can watch on there. What do we have here? $19.99. This is a test pressing for what? Arrested Development. This is a test pressing for a 12-inch single of Arrested Development. $19.99. Chris DiLorenzo's at 66 on the Police. Generation X. This is $29.99 for Generation X. Billy Idol. I think they're reissuing this for Record Store Day. This is $29.99 for Generation X. and Richard Pryor is $14.99. Richard Pryor is $14.99. Richard Pryor. Troubled Troubadour. What do we have here? This is a 1970 unofficial $39.99. This looks like all songs from the Basement tape recorded April 12th, 1967. It looks like Bob Dylan and the band unofficial. That is $39.99. Okay, so let's get all of our comments figured out. Police 65 with Fred. Chris DiLorenzo 66 with Chris. Peter said, what queen is that? This is Queen Hot Space. We're at $82. I'm going to sell it in about 15 seconds if no one else bids. Fred Carnell commented X, and I'm assuming that's for Generation X. So Fred Carnell was first on Generation X. Mark Cunningham says, which Arrested Development tunes? Natural and Fishing for Religion. Natural and Fishing for Religion. And it has multiple mixes on both sides of both songs. Terry Westwood was first to Richard Pryor. Jeffrey Walker, you were second on X. Is the Police Sync also translucent? No, I don't think the Japanese pressings are also translucent. They didn't do those on the Japanese, no. Actually, you know what? I think it is. It is, but it's very heavy. Or is it? No, I think that's just my reflection. No, it's black vinyl. It appears to be black vinyl. Bob Dylan Infidels, $34.99. We have the Rolling Stones Some Girls, unedited cover. Now this one has the colors, but the faces aren't blotched out. Also, this is on orange vinyl. Didn't we just sell one of these? $74.99. This is on orange vinyl. This is one of the Holland presses on orange vinyl. $74.99. It also includes the lyric insert. Very cool copy of that. Rolling Stones Some Girls. Original 78 orange vinyl. And it has the insert. Shattered. Beast of Burden. That's a great album. Last record. Jimi Hendrix. 1979 WEA press in shrink wrap. That is The Cry of Love. I never can remember that one. The Cry of Love. $39.99. Cry of Love. All right, I'm going to end these auctions. Queen is sold to Austin Cauldron for $82. That's sold to Austin. And Chris DiLorenzo gets the Police. No, wait a second. Did he say out? Let's time out there. High bid is, we're waiting for Fred to say out. Chris DiLorenzo is at $66. Chris DiLorenzo is at $66. Let me see if anybody said out. Fred, no, they're still bidding. Fred's at 67. Chris is at 68. And James C. Jones was first to Jimi Hendrix. James C. Jones is first to Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, the Police on purple vinyl, you got to hold it up to some bright light to even tell it's purple. I mean, for a lot of people for years own those and don't even realize they're colored vinyl until you hold them up to the light. You got to have a good light too. All right, they're still bidding on the Police. Before I go back through those a second time, let me put up a new Japanese auction. We'll do one of those other Saxon albums that I pulled out earlier. Saxon, which other ones do we have? Wheels of Steel. I don't see that one as often. Wheels of Steel. This one's going to be a $65 start. Don't get this one as often, and it is pristine. Saxon Wheels of Steel, $65 start. It is near mint and pristine. There's the Japanese insert, and there's the cover with Obi. That's a $65 start. Fred's officially out on the Police. Chris has that at 68. The other Queen is News of the World. I'll do that in a second. One more run through on these. We have Leo Sayer, Living in Fantasy. That's sealed, $19.99. The Bee Gees, Peace of Mind. That is sealed, $14.99. Jimmy Cliff, In Concert, Best Of, $24.99. Delbert McClinton, Plain from the Heart, $14.99. John Butcher, Wishes, $14.99. The B-Boys 12-inch single, $9.99. Paul McCartney, Venus and Mars, $24.99 with inserts. Tyrone Power, Reading Byron, $14.99. Grover Washington Jr., Inside Moves, $9.99. The Ice Castle soundtrack, $9.99. Stevie Nicks, The Wild Heart, $19.99. Surprised no one got this one. $19.99. The Rolling Stones, $39.99. The Rolling Stones. This is Between the Buttons. Really nice German pressing. We have Stephen Stills, $19.99. My Maria, B.W. Stevenson, $14.99. The test pressing for Arrested Development, $19.99. The bootleg for Bob Dylan and the Band, $39.99. Bob Dylan Infidels, $34.99. And I can't believe no one bought this. The Holland Orange Vinyl Some Girls, that is $74.99. I've sold a couple of those lately. Ron Stoltz first on Stevie Nicks. Ron Stoltz first on Stevie Nicks. We're going to go ahead and sell The Police to Chris DiLorenzo for $68. That's sold for $68. The Police. And final call on Saxon, if anybody wants to get an opening bid of $65. And I've already pulled Stevie Nicks. Trouble Troubadour. John, you are halfway there. Living on a Prayer. Pass. I don't even want to counter. A half-off offer. What is this? Fred's at 65 on Saxon. Craig Johnson says he will take the Some Girls. That is sold to Craig Johnson. Paul, there's another Stones record, Between the Buttons. I don't know if you want that, but if you do, let me know. Craig just claimed Some Girls. And I will put up another Japanese auction in just a moment. Let me go through, let's see, we went through that bin of new vinyl. Let me go through this one back here one more time. This is one I'm about to put in alphabetical order. And when it's in alphabetical order, we may not see it for a while. I've been working on getting our new vinyl sorted so I can figure out what we have. By the way, Saxon's at $65. That's going twice, going 3 times. Let me run through these titles. And yeah, we got new vinyl coming in every week. I try to keep it in alphabetical order now. That's what I did Saturday. Spent some time doing that. Still got a lot of stuff to do. We got crates of new vinyl all of a sudden everywhere. I do have a bin of putbacks with some key auction items. I'll do those in just a second. First, we have Sex Pistols. Nevermind the Bollocks. $29.99. $29.99. Sex Pistols, No Future UK. That's on yellow and black split vinyl. So Sex Pistols, Sex Pistols. Black Label Society, School Age, $39.99. Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith, $29.99. Kid Rock's Greatest Hits, last copy we have in stock, $36.99. Lots of Rush Fly By Night. Rush is $39.99. Slipknot Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, $36.99. Run the Jewels is $69.99. That's limited edition white and gold vinyl. I am going to go ahead and sell Saxon to Fred Carnell for $65. That's sold to Fred Carnell. Daft Punk Discovery, $39.99. ZZ Top Fandango, $31.99. Days of the New, 2LP, $49.99. Leonard Skinner Street Survivors is $34.99. DJ Jazzy Jeff, he's the DJ, $36.99. I got an OG copy of that I need to put out and clean. Collective Soul, Vibrating, $31.99. Kiss Asylum, $33.99. Tonic Lemon Parade is $38.99. Cinderella Night Songs, $38.99 for Cinderella Night Songs. Kiss Creatures of the Night is $39.99. U2 How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, that's on the limited edition red vinyl. And Velvet Revolver Contraband, $49.99. Some of those titles are about to be sorted and put off the table, so that means you might not see them for a while. Let me grab this bin of putbacks and see what we have in here. I know a couple things for sure we need to re-auction. This Grateful Dead was originally auctioned. This Pink Floyd was originally auctioned. And this Black and Blue was originally auctioned. This Metallica Ride the Lightning. These people are no longer buying with us. These are people who bought stuff and did not pay the bill. Did not pay the bill. So they can't buy from us anymore. All right. Let's go through that one more time. Rich Russo, I see that you claimed yes. Now, these aren't all non-payments. There are some that were in the putback bin. And Rich, this had your name on it. Is this your record? This had your name on it. Doug had it in the putback bin. So Let me know if that was supposed to be yours. It was in the putback bin, Rich Russo. That had your name on it, so I'm not for sure. That, and there's one other record in here, but I found out she had already paid for it, so it was just out of her order. Now, these records here were definitely stuff sold at auction and not paid for. So that's sold. The Saxon was sold to Fred for $65. This is Rich Russo's. I don't know what happened there, Rich, but it had your name on it. I'm assuming you put it back or something happened. So he says it's his. So I don't know the full story there, but that's him. Not Ulysses. No, this one guy who bought these two and another new record in here. He bought from us like a year and a half ago, and I don't know why we didn't block him. As soon as he bought, he sent us a message. He said, I just checked my bank account. I'm short on money. Please put these back. Same thing happened again. I guess we forgot about him. A year and a half later, he bought this at auction, Pink Floyd, and another record. As soon as the sale was over, he messaged us. I'm talking about as soon as I said good night, folks, he sends us a message. He's like, money's tight. I'm going to have to cancel all my orders tonight. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, he's got to be just doing that for fun, you know, or he's psychotic. So, okay, this was originally up for auction. This is a 1968 VG minus, original 1968 VG minus, Grateful Dead, Anthem of the Sun. And it is, I repeat, VG minus. So I'll put this up. Boy, it wasn't cheap. Whatever this brought at auction, I remember seeing the price. I was like, I remember a lot of people were bidding on this. $10 start. $10 start, Anthem of the Sun. It is a 68. It's in shrink wrap, nice cover. That appears to be the original inner sleeve, even though it's just generic. And that's a $10 start. Some of y'all may remember bidding on that. But that guy there, Chris Rio, he won't ever be on here again. He's officially blocked and removed from the group. Okay, same thing with this. As soon as we sold this at auction, the guy messaged us after the sale and said, I'm going to have to cancel. And we was like, well, this is an auction. We don't cancel auctions. He's like, I have no money to my name. That was his exact words. And I was like, what in the world? I guess he had a $0, 0 cent, and he was trying to buy Metallica. This is a VG minus 1984 specialty press. VG minus 1984 specialty press. And I remember listening to this, and like I say with most VG minus metal records, they don't sound too bad. I mean, you're going to play these loud enough when you're playing these. They don't sound too bad. So we're going to have some fun with this one. I can go ahead and tell you this originally brought triple digits. Okay, the last time we sold this, it brought triple digits. There's the original inner sleeve. One more time on the pressing. This is a 1984 specialty press VG minus Metallica Ride the Lightning. And I remember test playing. It doesn't skip. It doesn't jump. It's just got a lot of surface noise on it. When you're cranking it, it doesn't sound bad whatsoever. Decent jacket too, VG Plus. $10 start. It's just going to go up from there. But $10 start on Metallica Ride the Lightning. Okay. And then the other two will auction next. That's Black and Blue and The Wall. Those were also sold at auction. Everything else in this put-back bin is buy it now. Not everybody in here is delinquent, so if you see your stuff, and I was messaging about you earlier, some people accidentally claim something twice. Some people overlook an invoice, or we forget to send it to them, and then they already buy the records because they forget they bought it for us. So all kinds of different stuff happens. Grateful Dead 46, Metallica 25. Okay, first record was actually originally sold on sale. It didn't get paid for, so I'm going to show this one for the same on-sale price. The same on-sale price, which was $49.99. $49.99, and that was Stone Temple Pilots Core. That is the 25th anniversary edition, 4 CDs, DVD, and then the remastered LP. That is $49.99. Stone Temple Pilots Core. $49.99. Stone Temple Pilots Core. This is called If the Bomb Fails. $34.99. If the Bomb Fails. This is an actual record you listen to prepare for nuclear holocaust or nuclear fallout, I guess I should say. $34.99. What will you do if the bomb falls? $34.99 if the bomb falls. I don't think I can get this anymore. Queensryche Empire. I definitely need to check. It kind of reminded me, whoa, I don't have any of those in stock right now, but this is on, I think it's clear vinyl. Queensryche Empire, $44.99. Queensryche Empire, $44.99. Nirvana, this is a back to black 180 gram reissue of In Utero, $29.99. $29.99. Nirvana In Utero, $29.99. And LA Guns, the best of LA Guns, Riot on the Sunset. That is in pink vinyl. Pink vinyl is $29.99. Okay, so we got two auctions up. They were both non-payments originally. We had Grateful Dead and Metallica. Grateful Dead has a lot of bids. 10, 10, 20, 20, 15, 10, 11, 25, 15, 12, 15, 30, 31, 35, 35, 40, 45, Ride the Lightning 20, Grateful Dead 46, Metallica 25, Metallica 25, Metallica 30, Grateful Dead out. James Raynor's first to the STP. Tanner has arrived. I'm sure Seth is happy. Seth was over here just ready to scream because he's having to tag records. James Raynor is first on STP, and Tanner, that was on sale for $49.99. That's sold to James Raynor. Metallica's at 35. Dan Triaga, first on Queensryche. If anybody's second on that, I'll take a waiting list and see if I can still get these, but I don't think so. That's sold to Dan Triaga. Joe Gabriel, you were second. Let me know if you want on a waiting list. Matthew Christ wants If the Bomb Falls. That's sold to Matthew Christ. Scotty Hypes on Nirvana. Metallica's at 40. Fred Carnell second on Nirvana. Metallica 35. Metallica 43. And only thing left so far is LA Guns, Ride on the Sunset, pink vinyl, $29.99. Seth don't like tagging records because it takes concentration and focus, and he's not here to work, so that's why he don't like tagging records. He can play his games while he's keying in records in between little pauses. Tanner, who's going to be keying the rest of the night, he's going to be focused and listen to me word for word to get all this tagged correctly, so that's what's going on. I've got two copies. These are the numbered copies too, limited edition numbered, of Warrant Dog Eat Dog. I've got 1696 and 2304. These are $44.99. Warrant Dog Eat Dog. Warrant Dog Eat Dog. Let me remove this tape. There was some tape on the cover, or not on the cover, but on the plastic where we had an invoice taped to it. That is $44.99. Metallica 50, Metallica 50, Metallica 55. Fred Carnell wants the LA Guns. Fred Carnell wants the LA Guns. And let me pull that right there. Warrant Dog Eat Dog. Boy, when that first pressing came out and we had a few left over, we were selling those eBay for $119.99, $89.99. Eventually those prices will, I hadn't checked them in a while, but eventually that record will get back to those kind of prices when these all get gone and everybody has one, and then more people start looking for them again. Fred Carnell on the LA Guns. Let's get our two auctions on a final update. We had a Grateful Dead Anthem of the Sun. I think a lot of people's probably buying it for the jacket. This is a really nice cover in shrink wrap. I see a lot of people do that, buying records just for the jacket. And the vinyl is VG-. It's a 1968. It's on the green original label, Warner Brothers 7 Arts. That is a VG-, and the high bid on the Grateful Dead, final call, we have Mark Cunningham at $46. Boy, that's really close to what this brought the first time. Mark Cunningham's at $46. $46. Scotty says, give the Nirvana to Fred. They already have it. So I showed a Nirvana record, and Fred was second. Scotty's already got it. So Fred Carnell gets the Nirvana. Then Metallica's up for auction. Somebody asked about the pressing information. This is a 1984 specialty press. That should be OG, right? Let me get this right on the label here. 84 specialty. It's on the black and red Electra. I don't know if that was on a Megaforce. Let's see, you had Kill 'Em All, then this one. This one should be on a Megaforce to be a first press, or is it? Metallica collectors, help me out. I can't. Yeah, I think that one was on Megaforce originally. So that's an 84 specialty, but it's on a second label. It says Megaforce on it, but this should be See how it says Megaforce? This should be on a Megaforce record to be a first press. I believe I'm right in saying that. I don't get a lot of OG Metallica in collections. I've bought them and sold them, but I don't get a lot to have those labels memorized like I do Grateful Dead records. So, and it's been a long time since I sold that. I think I remember originally saying it. But, okay, Dog Eat Dog sold to Paul. And Scotty Hop says he'll take one as well. $44.99. I got two right here. I already had two. Yeah, that was somebody's order. They said they already bought those from us, and they had another invoice. We got a lot more in the back. We have over 100 warrants in stock if anybody wants one, or a month from now if anybody else wants one. Onslaught, The Force. Onslaught is a VG copy, $24.99, 1986. Onslaught, VG, $24.99, The Force. And ELO, a New World Record. Really nice copy of this one, $19.99. The Grateful Dead is with Mark Cunningham at $46. Mark Cunningham's at $46 on Anthem of the Sun. In shrink wrap, vinyls VG minus, first 68 press. Going twice, 3, 4 times. I'm about to sell it. Mark has that for $46. Metallica is an 84 specialty press, VG minus. It sounds great though. I can remember that much about it. Joe Gabriel is at $60. Final call for Metallica, $68. Okay. Pink Floyd Live at Wembley, $39.99 for Pink Floyd Live at Wembley. We have Alice in Chains Facelift. Alice in Chains Facelift, $36.99. Facelift is $36.99. Stained, It's Been a While, live from Foxwood, 2019. Stained is $38.99. That actually sounds really good. U2, Songs of Surrender. This is the limited edition white vinyl indie exclusive. U2, Songs of Surrender, $49.99. And Twisted Sister, live at Donington, $33.99. Twisted Sister, live at Donington. James Bragg, yes, we've already got that set aside. James, I've already got that set aside. That is Brent Rabley's. I just hadn't taken it off yet. When Ed was sorting records, I said, Ed, look for a Waylon Jennings live at JD's. That's Brent Rabley's. He got tagged to the wrong person, and it's like a $200 record. James, I just hadn't taken it off your invoice, but I already have it pulled out of your order. So thank you for letting me know that live. Brent was about to come down here from Indiana and personally shoot me if I didn't find it. So yes, I'll send you a new invoice. Tonight after the sale, I'm going to go back through unpaid orders and finish what I've been doing, and Tanner is going to start on invoice corrections. So that's what we're doing tonight after the sale. Okay, anybody that needs a fixed invoice, make sure you message us, and we'll get that fixed. Okay, auctions are done. Grateful Dead sold to Mark Cunningham for $46. About 6 months ago, this sold for $47. So that is sold. And Metallica just sold for $60 to Joe Gabriel, and that originally brought about 4 months ago, I think, $107. So I consider Joe Gabriel, you got the better end of that resale. That sold to Joe Gabriel for $60. Okay, one more time. This is a non-payment bin. We have Onslaught, The Force, a VG copy, $24.99. ELO, a New World Record, great tracks on that, $19.99. Then a few new LPs. We have Pink Floyd, $39.99. Alice in Chains, $36.99. Stained is $38.99. U2 is the indie exclusive white vinyl, $49.99. And Twisted Sister Donington, $33.99. $33.99. So we tag everything by hand. A human does it, either Tanner, Seth, or Ed, usually Tanner. And then we key everything in by hand, which definitely a human does that. And so with humans, there's a little bit of error. And so we sell thousands of records. And when we sell thousands of records, we may have 20 mistakes, maybe 10 of all the thousands we key in and tag. And which causes sometimes a couple. That means one person didn't get one record and one person did. And we have to go through and fix everything on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. That's what we do. So I'm very fortunate we don't have more than that. But we tag everything by hand and have to keep up with it so fast. Y'all see how fast we can start selling records sometimes. Fortunately, we don't have too many mistakes. Let me grab a new crate of new stuff. John did get a crate of 2 crates of punk and hardcore music. I'm not ready to do those now. I may not do those until later or maybe even to tomorrow because we have new vintage arrivals to go through, which I'm going to do right now. Boy, there's a lot of, wow, here's some, okay. This is a wild looking crate. There's some surprises in here. Let me mix some of these up right quick. We have like 4 Zeppelin records back to back to back and a bunch of Hendrix and wow. Okay, a lot of Dylan in here too. We may have to just do the old whoever's first because there's way too many. This is a great crate of new vintage arrivals. Great crate of new vintage arrivals. Okay. Let's see. So Roger Ramjet got the Pink Floyd Wembley. Anybody else, let me know if you want one. And here we go. We also need, if we hadn't already, we need to let Brent know we found that record. I don't know if he's watching. Trevin Price, ELO. I found it early this morning, actually, and it's been one of those non-stop days. Okay. ELO is sold to Trevin Price. Trevin, that's sold to you. Okay. New vintage arrivals. New vintage arrivals. Let me go ahead and start these other 2 auctions. We sold these at auctions too. Here's another guy who bought something and as soon as the sale was over, said he didn't have any money. This is a near mint copy of Black and Blue, which I think is self-titled. Black and Blue, and this is going to be a $25 start or $20 start or something. $20 start on Black and Blue, self-titled. $20 start. Yeah, I plan on doing all the punk and hardcore stuff tomorrow. I'm probably going to make a post and let all the buyers know that that's on here. And this was also sold at auction and didn't get paid for. It's a 1979 Terre Haute press. That should be OG 79 Terre Haute of Pink Floyd The Wall. There's the original inner sleeves. It was an EX copy. Not bad, but not near mint. And about a VG Plus cover. Also not mint, but not bad. The spines on these always get messed up. I don't know why. This has got a nice spine. That's a $30 start. $30 start on Pink Floyd The Wall. David Tate's at 20 and then 22. Okay, let's go through this bin right here. And by the way, it will help speed up things tremendously. I can go ahead and tell you, I think there's a lot of Dylan, Stones, and Led Zeppelin in here. This morning, John was like, do you want to know the artists we have an abundance of in the back? We have an abundance of the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, the Stones, Jimi Hendrix, and did I already say the Beatles, and of course Elvis. And I was like, well, that's a good thing. Let's start getting some of those out. So that's all from that Dallas collection. I mean, he had stacks and stacks of Led Zeppelin records. I think y'all remember some of those pictures we posted. You know, he had like stacks of Led Zeppelin ones. It was incredible. Okay, we have High Tide and Green Grass, big hits, the Rolling Stones. This is also on orange vinyl from Holland, $44.99. That's on orange vinyl from Holland, $44.99. Big hits, High Tide and Green Grass. The Rolling Stones, Bright Lights, Big City. Never seen that before. It's 1989 white vinyl, 1989 white vinyl from Luxembourg. Wow, you never see many things pressed in Luxembourg. White vinyl, $59.99. Black and Blue, $25. The Wall at $30. Black and Blue again at $25. Stones and Stones. Another Stone, Still Life. American Concert, 1981. $34.99. The Rolling Stones, Still Life. $34.99. Black and Blue now at $26. The Rolling Stones, Suckin' in the 70s. Suckin' in the 70s is $34.99. So Brent McKinney's the only bidder right now on The Wall at $30. Black and Blue's at $26. Several Stones albums there. Shot of Love by Bob Dylan. Don't get this one as often as we do others. $34.99. That's his 1981 album. Bob Dylan, Shot of Love, $34.99. Very clean looking. The Best of Cream. $34.99 for The Best of Cream. That's a German pressing. Very, very nice. That is $34.99. The Best of Cream. Tony Riddle's at $31 on The Wall now. Speaking of the Stones, here's Bill Wyman, Monkey Grip. Bill Wyman is $19.99. Monkey Grip by Bill Wyman. The Performance soundtrack starring James Fox, Mick Jagger. This is $19.99. The Performance soundtrack, and that's a 1974 UK. 1974 UK pressing of that. Very clean copy. Craig's at 31 on Pink Floyd. We already have Tony Riddle at 31. So he's still the high bidder. Charlie's back in on Black and Blue at 27, but we already have 2 people at 28. Bob Dylan, Planet Waves, with the hype sticker. Has a, I don't know if that was originally on the cover or the shrink wrap. It also has a promo sticker, and it's a white label promo, $49.99. Bob Dylan, Planet Waves, $49.99, white label promo. Asylum Records. It's got some stickers on it. Discotex and his Sexolettes. $14.99 for Discotex. White label promo on the Chelsea label, $14.99. Led Zeppelin 4 is $49.99. It's a 1977 specialty press. RCA Music Club. RCA Music Club. $49.99. Led Zeppelin 4. Very nice copy. I can't grab the other one. The Billie Holiday Story, Volume 1. Billie Holiday Story is $24.99. The Billie Holiday Story, Volume 1. 2 LP. Billie Holiday compilation, $24.99. And Bob Dylan Real Live. Bob Dylan Real Live, $34.99. Original inner sleeve, $34.99 on that. Okay, update on our auctions. Black and Blue is at 28 with Craig Proper. Everyone else is out. Craig Proper has that for 28. Tony Riddle is the high bidder on Pink Floyd. That is at 31, and everybody else is out. Everyone else is out. Keith Richards, Talk is Cheap, $19.99. Keith Richards, Talk is Cheap, $19.99. This is John Lennon, Live Piece Toronto, a French pressing. I think we had one of these last week, $39.99. Amy Beth Hale said, good night. It's just 9 o'clock. What state are you in? Which country? Stormy Blues, Billie Holiday, $34.99. $34.99 for Stormy Blues, Billie Holiday. That is on the Verve label. $34.99. The World of Johnny Horton. The World of Johnny Horton, $19.99. The World of Johnny Horton, $19.99. And Dean Martin, Dino. That is $9.99 for Dean Martin, Dino. $9.99. State of Denial. Understandable. Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli, live at the London Palladium, $9.99. Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli, $9.99. Dean Martin, I take a lot of pride in what I am. Dean Martin's in shrink wrap, $9.99. Okay, Charlie DeFrank is at 30 on Black and Blue. Final call. We have nobody has set out on the wall and no one has bid again. Tony Riddle has that for 31. Final call. Leslie Holt wants the Liza and Judy. That's so to Leslie Holt. Dean Martin, my woman, my wife. $9.99. This is the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, $69.99. This is a 1970 UK press. 1970, very clean looking UK press. That will be in stereo. Very nice. That is $69.99. Craig is in on Black and Blue at 32. Brent's back in on Pink Floyd at 32. Angela Leckenting on JH. The only JH we've had in here is Johnny Horton. Let me know if that's correct or wrong or whatever. Angela, I've got you down for Johnny Horton. The Clash, Give 'Em Enough Rope, is a 78 Terre Haute, and John said this was like new condition, $49.99. Orange Epic label, $49.99 on the Clash. Generic inner sleeve, I think that's how it came. Bob Dylan, All Hallows Eve, 1964. Bob Dylan, All Hallows Eve is $129.99. That is $129.99. That's a 1976 unofficial. Let's see, Cindy Carroll on the Cindy Carroll on the Beatles. Fred is asking about Green Grass price and condition. This is $44.99. $44.99. That's on orange vinyl. The vinyl is EX Plus, Nearmint Minus. The cover's VG Plus, very nice. It does have a punch hole. Other than that, nothing wrong with it. The Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request, $39.99. Blue London stereo label, very clean vinyl, $39.99. The Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request. Led Zeppelin Presents, $44.99. Very clean looking copy, clean cover, embossed, original inner sleeve, very nice vinyl. Led Zeppelin Presents, $44.99. And the fabulous Johnny Cash, wow, a 1958 mono, $49.99. Columbia 6i. I'll have to say that was some very nice looking vinyl, and this is an extremely nice jacket. $49.99, 1958 mono. Brent McKinney's still in on Pink Floyd at 35. Tony's out, and we had some people out on Black and Blue. So Black and Blue is at 38 with 32. Black and Blue self-titled 32 with Craig Proper. Pink Floyd 32. Pink Floyd 34. Pink Floyd 35, and Philip Regaldo wants the Johnny Cash. Good decision there. Not many 58 monos in that condition. All Things Must Pass by George Harrison. 3 LP box set, of course. $49.99. No condition notes on that. And Eric Clapton at His Best. That is a 2 LP Clapton compilation, $34.99. B.B. King, Blues and Jazz. B.B. King is $19.99. Blues and Jazz, $19.99 for B.B. King Blues and Jazz. And Billie Holiday's Greatest Hits, Volume 1. Billie Holiday's Greatest Hits, Volume 1, $19.99. The Stones is just a printed, yes, just a printed cover. I think they had a lenticular, they had a pasted, they had this slick, and or they had a cover with like a photo slick they pasted, and then they have them actually printed on the cover. This one's actually printed on the cover, $39.99. Doc Smith first on B.B. King, that's sold to Doc Smith, and Craig Weatherford first on Billie Holiday. Waves Dylan offer, $35. I will come back to that. Right now everything is sticker price in this bin. I did one $5 discount on the first check condition bin. All the new arrivals right now are sticker price first go around. Okay, I'm about to sell these 2 auctions, but let me show a couple more records. Bob Dylan Empire Burlesque is $34.99, and Bob Dylan, that's in shrink wrap, $34.99. Might make a heck of a Dylan bundle with somebody. There's more coming though. Another copy of Real Life. This one's in shrink wrap with hype sticker, $34.99. And Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits, another copy in shrink wrap, $34.99 for Dylan's Greatest Hits. Very clean looking copy there. I told y'all that was a bunch of Dylan. Guess what? There's more. Bob Dylan Slow Train Coming, $34.99. Lots of Dylan. And Jimi Hendrix, the Essential Jimi Hendrix, Volume 2. This has the bonus single with it, 1979 with single, $39.99. The Essential Jimi Hendrix, Volume 2, $39.99. But wait, there's more. Black and Blue is sold. Black and Blue is sold to Craig Proper for $32, and Pink Floyd was $32, $34 out. Pink Floyd is sold for $35. Pink Floyd is sold to $35. Michael, I've seen this one, and don't you have the Essential Hendrix Volume 1? I think there's a single that goes with Volume 1 and Volume 2. So, if not, if this is the one you need, I need to set this aside because Michael Nath bought this record, and somewhere I have not found the single yet. And here's one here. I'm sure John knew nothing about that. That's why he put this out for sale. So, but you might want to check that. I don't know if Volume 2 came with or Volume 1 came with a single, but I may be wrong. That may be the same one. Let me lay that over here in pending. Brian C., you were technically first to it. I'll figure out what I can do on that. Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same, $64.99. The Song Remains the Same, $64.99. That appears to be very clean. And Chuck Mangione, Fun and Games. Chuck Mangione is $9.99. Let me put up 2 new Japanese auctions. Since I'm done auctioning non-payments for the night, I've got, excuse me, that was a sneeze. But over here for sale, I've got Saxon and Bryan Adams. Saxon and Bryan Adams up for bid. It did. It just came. I didn't have time to prepare or even mute my mic or anything. Okay, Troy Schrock wants The Song Remains the Same. Let me go ahead and tag that before it gets buried in all the bless you comments. Thank you for the bless you comments. That's told to Troy Schrock. Next two Japanese auctions, we have Saxon. Saxon self-titled. Japanese press. I think I started the last one at 65. Same for this one. This is a near mint and pristine Saxon. Self-titled. Saxon. Japanese inner sleeve. Really nice cover with Obi. $65 start on that. Troy Schrock also wants Led Zeppelin Presence. He grabs both of the Zeppelins there. Presence and Song Remains the Same. Showstopper Rob said cheers. Is that what you say in Holland when someone sneezes? Cheers. Bryan Adams Reckless. Pristine copy in shrink wrap with Obi. Beautiful. $65 start on Saxon. $40 start on Bryan Adams. $40 start on Bryan Adams. There's the LP. There is the Japanese insert. And here is the cover with Obi. That's a $40 start. $40 start. Bryan Adams and Saxon up for bid. It was volume 2. I didn't have the bonus. Okay. So let me set this aside. And I know that's probably one he came with it. But I'll pull this one out for you. And then Brian C. Where I thought that 45 was, I haven't located it yet. So we owe Brian C. a Jimi Hendrix Volume 2 with single. And we owe Michael Nath a single. So I'll get that worked out. Michael, I'll give you that one. And then Brian C., I'll figure out if I can find you another single. Now I owe Brian C. a single. I'm in debt again for another single. But we'll figure that one out in just a second. Okay. Bryan Adams is at $40. Dave Mason, Let It Flow. Dave Mason is $9.99. Has a promo strip on the front. Jimi Hendrix Rainbow Bridge in shrink wrap, $34.99. Jimi Hendrix Rainbow Bridge in shrink wrap, $34.99. $34.99 for Rainbow Bridge. That's in shrink wrap. Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits is $34.99. $34.99 for Smash Hits. And Doc and Merle Watson, Look Away. Doc and Merle Watson, $19.99. Look Away. Merle Haggard and the Strangers, I Love Dixie Blues, $14.99. Bob Dylan, Historical Archives, Volume 1. Historical Archives, Volume 1, $34.99 for Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, Historical Archives, Volume 2, $34.99. Historical Archives, Volume 2. And Little River Band, $9.99. Little River Band, $9.99. Procol Harum, 1967 Best Way pressing, $54.99. Stereo includes the smash hit Wider Shade of Pale, $54.99 for Procol Harum. About a VG cover, $54.99 on that. Emerson, Lake and Palmer Love Beach is $19.99. And Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti is a UK press, $59.99. $59.99 on Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti. Michael Nass says you can give it to Ryan. Well, that's up to you. You kind of have dibs on the single, but or I can take the single out and sell it to Ryan for a few dollars less. Whatever works. And then Michael, I can get him a single or whatever. We'll see what Brian C. says. John Ambrosic was first to Dave Mason. John Ambrosic first to Dave Mason. Dave Mason was not on Blue Vinyl Rob. Bryan Adams is now at 41. David Plunkett was first to Doc and Merle Watson. Paul Gill, you were second to that. I did catch the Seinfeld reference. That was, you're so good looking. That's, Jerry said he's had enough of people saying, God bless you when you sneeze. So they started saying, you're so good looking. Roger Ramjet on Procure. Procure, that was probably for Procol Harum. Sold out to Roger Ramjet. Joe Gabriel gets the UK pressing of Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti. And James Rayner's at 45 on Bryan Adams. John, we have already sold Led Zeppelin. Okay. And Brian C. says, I'll take the Hendrix. Thanks, C. Michael Nath. Okay. Michael Nath, I still owe you a bonus single. Maybe I should let John know, who handles our records every day, to be on the lookout for one of these. And I owe you one, still. That's sold to Brian C. There's still 2 Billie Holidays, yes. I think there's 3 Billie Holidays. I'll find out in just a second. So sell that to Brian C., the Jimi Hendrix. Bryan Adams is at 45 with James Rayner. And Saxon is still no bid at $65. If no one bids, I'll make it a buy now. There are some fantastic records still left in the spin. I need everybody to wake up and take a look at these one more time. There's some Stones in here, some Dylans we don't get too often. And how much was the Merle Haggard? The Merle Haggard was $14.99. I'm going to run through these. About half of the crate is Bob Dylan, so I may just say titles and prices. Final call if you want to get in on Saxon. If not, I'll make it a buy it now. And Bryan Adams is at 45 with James Rayner. No one has said out, but it is final call. Paul Gill says he will take the Merle Haggard before I go any further. That's sold to Paul Gill. Okay. The Rolling Stones, Bright Lights, Big City on white vinyl, $59.99. The Stones Still Life, $34.99. That's black vinyl, not the picture disc. Roger Ramjet wants Suckin' in the 70s. That just popped up. That is sold to Roger Ramjet. Shot of Love, Bob Dylan, $34.99. Best of Cream, that was a German press, $34.99. Bill Wyman, Monkey Grip, $19.99. The Performance Soundtrack, $19.99. Planet Waves was a white label promo, $49.99. Has the Bob Dylan hype sticker and the promo sticker. That is a white label, $49.99. The Discotheques and his Sexalettes, $14.99. Led Zeppelin 4 is the only one still left. This is $49.99. 77 specialty press, which is a club version. Billie Holiday Story Volume 1, $24.99. Bob Dylan Real Live, $34.99. Keith Richards Talk is Cheap, $19.99. Live Piece Toronto, a French pressing, $39.99. Stormy Blues Billie Holiday, $34.99. Dean Martin Dino, that's $9.99. Dean Martin, Take a Lot of Pride, that's $9.99. And My Woman is $9.99. The Clash is still available. 78 OG, original Epic label, very clean copy, $49.99. Bob Dylan All Hallows Eve, $129.99. That's a 76 unofficial. The orange vinyl, High Tide and Green Grass. I'm not for sure why they didn't make that on green vinyl. $44.99. All Things Must Pass, $49.99. Eric Clapton at his best was $34.99. And then their Satanic Majesty's Request, $39.99. Very clean copy of that. Bob Dylan Empire Burlesque, Bob Dylan Dylan, Bob Dylan Real Life, Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits, Bob Dylan Slow Train Coming. Chuck Mangione Fun and Games is $9.99 for Chuck Mangione Fun and Games. Hendrix is in shrink wrap, the Rainbow Bridge soundtrack. Surprised no one got that. Very clean copy, $34.99. Roger Ramjet also wants the Stone Satanic Majesty's Request. I'm going to go ahead and sell Bryan Adams for $45 to James Rayner. If anybody wants Saxon, it's a $65 buy it now. Saxon is a $65 buy it now. I'm going to lay that right over there. Also, Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits. We got Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Dylan Historical Archives. Those are $34.99 each. Little River Band Self-Titled is $9.99, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer is $19.99. Fred, I have already sold Satanic Majesty's Request, and All Things Must Pass. There is no condition notes on the vinyl. The box lid is detached. No tape on there anymore. It's got a little bit of chipping where it got detached. It looks like it does have the poster. It does have the poster, and it has all 3 LPs. Let's take a look at disc 3, which is Apple Jam. Very nice copy. That is on the Apple label. That looks very, very nice. That disc did have the poster, $49.99. If you don't buy it now, you'll be wanting one later, and I won't have it. Let's see here. So, Fred, we've already sold the Stones. I still have Green Grass. The 2 Billie Holidays for $52 for Michael Nath. Let me see what I can do on that. Who made an offer, by the way? Who made an offer on this? I will work with you on it. I can't take $35, but I will work with you on that, whoever made an offer. because I'm going to probably take some out of this crate. We have the 2 Billie Holidays for $52 to Michael Nath. That is, sell those to Michael Nath for $52, Tanner. Both of those bundle all the Dylans leading up to, but not including the greatest hits. Okay? The Dave Mason was Let It Flow. Dave Mason has already sold the one that's in that little patch. Okay? And Trevin Price wants George Harrison. And Austin had already asked about it. He said he'll take a third copy. Okay, so this is sold to Austin. Trevin, he had just asked about it first, so he had dibs on that. And that's sold to Austin. Tim said he'd give $39.99 for this. Go ahead and sell that to Tim Tolbert for $39.99. And let's see. Now we got to do a Dylan bundle. Everything leading up to, but not the greatest hits. Everything but the greatest hits. So that's that one, that one, that one. Now, do you want the unofficial as well? Do you want the All Hallows Eve or just the studio albums? And there's another copy of Real Life. I'm going to pull the one in the shrink wrap and hype sticker. And that Shot of Love is also still in there. So I think there's this one, this one, this one, this one. The Dave Mason, was it Let It Flow? If so, I need to put it back from I already bought it a week ago. See if John Ambrosic's already bought a Dave Mason Let It Flow from us tonight. Best price on green grass, just greatest hits. Okay, so Real Life, this one, and this one. You don't need Shot of Love. Okay, Austin says give the All Things Must Pass to Trevin. He don't want to claim them all. So All Things Must Pass. Trevin, you're going to end up with that anyway. George Harrison. Austin says he's already got 2 copies. He's going to give you that one. And before I give you a bundle deal on those, I am going to tell Fred I will do $5 off on this and do it for $39.99. $39.99 on Big Hits, High Tide, and Green Grass, orange vinyl pressing. I will sell you these. I'll give you a $15 discount. That's including the better copy of that. That one's in shrink wrap. Really nice of that. $90 for all 3 of those. $90 for all 3 of those. The James Bragg. And this one is sold to Fred Carnell for $40. That's sold to Fred Carnell for $40. I've got new auctions. I've got 2 more crates of vintage, not including the punk stuff. But I'm not going to do that tonight. So I got 2 more crates of vintage. We're going to do those before we take a break tonight. It's already 9:30. But don't go anywhere. I've got new stuff for you. I'm going to read these titles one more time. Dylan, Shot of Love, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Love Beach, Little River Band, self-titled. Dylan, Historical Archives, Volume 2 and Volume 1. Hendrix Smash Hits, Hendrix Rainbow Bridge, and Shrink Wrap. Wow. Chuck Mangione, Slow Train Coming, Dylan's Greatest Hits, Clapton at His Best, All Hallows Eve, The Clash, Dean Martin, Dean Martin, Dean Martin, John Lennon, Keith Richards, Dylan again, Zeppelin, Discotheques, Performance Soundtrack, Bill Wyman, Cream, Stones, and Stones. Good titles in there. I'll have to post those in Facebook, in our Facebook group, because that was some stuff, a few in there I am surprised didn't get. Is it punk or death metal? It is more so, I don't know. I hadn't got to really look through them. Youthful Offenders, Death, Senseless Death, Cannabis Corpse, The Last Resort, A Way of Life, Skinhead Anthems, Propaganda, Live Strong, Citizens Arrest, Toxic Holocaust, State, False Power, The Unseen, Yuppies, The Runaways, what the heck? $90 for those 3. Dayglow, Abortions, Farts, 6 Feet Under. So a little bit of all those kind of genres. Okay, I got another bit of new vintage arrivals here. Let me bring these front and center. Let's auction these. People's always want the David Gilmour solo albums. And wow. Okay. Some good stuff in here. Claim Death and Cannibal Corpse. I will show those tomorrow. My restream on my monitor is not working very well. It's barely working on my phone. Hendrix, Are You Experienced? Brent, I have a brand new copy if you want it. Josh Ragland, Led Zeppelin 4 was $49.99. Led Zeppelin 4 was $49.99. I have one copy left of Are You Experienced, a new copy. These new Hendrix albums are a bargain, in my opinion. They sound great, and they're not very expensive whatsoever. Are You Experienced is $28.99. Axis is $28.99. And Electric Ladyland, which is 2 LPs, is just $28.99. Those are all $28.99. His first 3, and really his only studio albums. Are You Experienced, Axis Bold as Love, and Electric Ladyland. I've got multiples of all those if anybody wants them. They sound great. Most of them are pressed at QRP. Yeah, pressed at QRP. These are really good. That's sold to Brent McKinney. I've also got Axis and Electric Ladyland if anybody wants those. I just mentioned David Gilmour. I've got David Gilmour's first solo album, which is a really good record. It's called, it's self-titled, David Gilmour. I always call it like a missing or a lost Pink Floyd record. I mean, it sounds just like 70s era Pink Floyd. Really good stuff. And this is a $20 start. That's David Gilmour, self-titled, gatefold, OG. Joe Gabriel wants an Electric Ladyland. Anybody else want any Hendrix before I put them away? Well, I've got a whole bin dedicated to Hendrix, but I don't have much left. We used to have all kinds of stuff, but I really just keep lots of his solo albums. People come in the store, especially kids. I see a lot of teenagers coming in here all the time looking for Hendrix. And we always need that first album. A lot of people listen to Hendrix. They get started on that first album, and then they get hooked. We have Queen, News of the World. We auctioned off a Queen Hot Spaces earlier. Here's another classic album for Queen, and this one is a beauty. This one's a beauty. This is Queen, News of the World with Obi. Very nice copy. This is a $65 start. I need David Gilmour About Face. I've got it right over here. We're about to auction it. $65 start for Queen, News of the World. Very nice copy. Very nice copy. That is pristine. Is this the inner sleeve or the insert? This is the insert. Boy, it's pristine. And this cover, at first glance, let's take a closer look at it. It is very nice. Japanese quality. Look at the inking on this. Cool Obi. $65 start. Yeah, no damage whatsoever. That's very nice. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the comments before I go any further. Whoever asked about that Led Zeppelin, if you want it, just let me know. David Gilmour, 20, 20, 20, 25, 25, 28, 25, 30. Darren Meyer has it at 30. All right, new vintage arrivals. We've got Pink Floyd Relics, a bazaar of collection and antiques and curios. Pink Floyd Relics, $39.99. Craig Johnson wants Dylan's Greatest Hits. That was in the last crate. Fred's got the opening bid of Queen at $65. That Dylan Greatest Hits is right over here. Really nice copy in shrink wrap. Right here. That's sold to Craig. Craig Johnson, you get that. Austin Cauldron, first to Pink Floyd Relics. Relics. Let's see. I'm confused. David Gilmour, not Pink Floyd. David Gilmour is at 40. And Queen is still at 65. Sorry. There's another Pink Floyd coming up. We have, Susie, you were second on that Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd, a collection of great dance songs. The vinyl is fine. The cover is about VG Plus, has ring wear, maybe even VG, $34.99. Pink Floyd, a collection of great dance songs. That's sold to R.M. Lazelle. There was back-to-back Pink Floyds, but I think all the claims already come in for Relics. R.M., I'm going to give you that one. And Austin was second. Troy was second. Austin was third. Make sure there's not another Pink Floyd. It's not. This artist is commonly abbreviated by the letters in the 3 letters of his name. SRV. Soul to Soul, $64.99. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Soul to Soul, beautiful copy. Stevie Ray Vaughan, $64.99. OG. $29.99 for another Stevie Ray Vaughan. Look at Little Sister. That's a 12-inch single promo. Look at Little Sister. Let me see what the B-side is. We have it in a Say What, 12-inch single from Stevie Ray Vaughan. Those are $64 and $29.99. Next is $24.99. This is Blues Explosion. Uh-oh. And look, it has Stevie Ray Vaughan on it, and Coco Taylor, and J.B. Hutto, and John Hammond. That is $24.99. Yeah, I think the feed's really laggy tonight because we'd have already seen some claims by now. I don't know if y'all can, if anybody's trying to comment and it's not coming through, but I can just tell by the flow of comments and people's questions, the feed's really, really slow tonight. So, and I think some people's gave up. So, earlier, but some people came back. I saw some people's like, I'm done. When we first, Tanner wasn't here, but Tanner, when we first started, people were, couldn't hardly get their bids in or comments in. So just one of those nights. Troy Schrock is at 45 on David Gilmour. That's the high bid on this. Going once, going twice. Going once, going twice on David Gilmour. And no other bids on Queen until Jared bid 68, Fred bid 69. So Jared 68, Fred 69. Sherry Darnell first on Blues Explosion. Michael Nath was second. I see Test. Jared's back in on Queen at 70. And then more Test. And high bid on David Gilmour is now $48. All right. Scott says not bad on YouTube. Yeah, I think some people went over to YouTube and said it was much better. So any night Facebook's laggy, it's not bad to have a backup YouTube account. You can watch on there. Some people like it, some people don't, but sometimes it's faster. I was talking to a customer Saturday morning. He does a test. He'll time it. Some nights Facebook's faster for him. Some nights YouTube. He picks everyone's faster and he sticks with it. Roll your own with Buck and the Buckaroos. Buck Owens, $9.99. Roll your own. Buck Owens, $9.99. Jimmy Smith, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Jimmy Smith is $19.99. On the Verve label, of course. Jimmy Smith, $19.99. And Wade in Water, Ramsey Lewis. This is sealed. It's never been opened. Ramsey Lewis, sealed, $19.99. Rob Scheffler, first on Buck Owens. Colin Butler was second. Update on our auctions. David Gilmour is at $20 with Troy. High bid on Queen. High bid on Queen is with Jared at $70. Fred Carnell, you're out. $70 with him. Excuse me while I take a water break. I'm in desperate need of one. I muted my mic so y'all didn't have to hear that. I'm back now. Cherry Limeade, that's coming up. If I can take a break at 10:30, that's the first place I'm heading is Sonic. I'm already started my fast for tonight, so really I'm not supposed to, but if I do, it will break it, so I probably don't need to go over there. David Gilmour is at 60, John Ambrosic's at 61, Troy's at 62. Pink Floyd, Umaguma, $49.99. Pink Floyd, Umaguma, $49.99. 2LP, very nice. Wow, very nice. $49.99. Pink Floyd, Umaguma. No GG cover. The Wall, $54.99. Very nice copy. It's a later press. It has a barcode on the back, probably from the early mid-'80s. But it's a very nice copy. The Wall, $54.99. Pink Floyd. Back-to-back Pink Floyds. Songs of Christofferson. Chris Christofferson, $14.99. Christofferson, $14.99. Sells bootlegs. Pop Psych. Pop Psych is how you look up. That's how we look up vintage bootlegs to see what they've brought before on eBay. That's how you find the prices for sold bootlegs. You can't sell them on eBay either. They'll ban you or take them down because they don't want to get sued by somebody selling bootlegs. So eBay don't allow it, Discogs don't allow it. But you can get on eBay, and sometimes they slip through, and a website called PopPsych, they archive what they sold for. So sometimes you can see them pop up on that. Buck Owens live at the White House, sealed 1972. 1999. Buck Owens live at the White House, sealed 1972. The Best of Buck Owens and Susan Ray. More Buck Owens, $9.99. Buck Owens and Buck Owens. Well, he played live at the White House. Buck Owens and his Buckaroos, Sweet Rosie Jones, $9.99. 3 Buck Owens. I know they're all going to get claimed. Okay, Queen is sold to Jared Benoit for $70. That's sold to Jared Benoit for $70. And let's do a final call now on David Gilmour. Troy Shark has that at 65, and John says he's out. So Troy has that for 65, final call. Joseph says he's also out. Toby Graham, you're first to Buck Owens. Let me know if you want Sweet Rosie Jones, Susan Ray, Live at the White House, and Songs of Christopherson. Yes, this is like a comp. Silver Tongue Devil, me and Bobby McGee. It's all on here. Sunday Morning Coming Down. That is $14.99. The Rolling Stones, Through the Past Darkly, Big Hits Volume 2, $39.99. $39.99. A 1969 Terre Haute press. Not bad whatsoever either. 69 Terre Haute. For some reason, that record is always kind of beat up. Toby Graham wants the Buck Owens at the White House. John Porter said sold on the Songs of Christopherson. John Moreno on the Rolling Stones. That's John Moreno. Hope I'm saying your last name right. John, let me know if you're a first-time buyer. I don't recall saying that name too many times, so let me know if you are, and I'll give you some first-time buyer instructions. In the meantime, we're going to put up a new Japanese record and the other David Gilmour solo album, because this one is now officially sold. David Gilmour is sold to Troy Schrock for $65. Tommy Flower says he's bought 50 or 60 Buck Owens. I believe it. There's no telling how many Buck Owens records I've sold in the last 10 years. Hundreds. Thousands. Vision Quest. Vision Quest is a Japanese pressing, $25 start. $25 start. Vision Quest, $25 start. First track is from Dio, Hungry for Heaven. Madonna's on here, Foreigner, Red Rider, Lunatic Fringe, Sammy Hagar. You also get Journey, John Waite, Style Council, more Madonna. That is $25 start. Vision Quest, $25 start. No Obi. It is a Japanese pressing. John says he's a first-time buyer. John Moreno. John, thank you and welcome. The first thing I need you to do is please send our Facebook page, that's this page here you're watching on, a message with your email address and your mailing address. We need to get a message from you with your email address and your mailing address. This is the first sale of the night. We do combined shipping here. We do combined shipping here all week for $7. We have some people who buy one record. We have some people who we have to wheel out their orders with a pallet, like multiple boxes. It requires like a crane. We have to rent like a Brinks truck sometimes to move some of these people's orders. You can buy as much as you want the rest of the week for $7 and limited shipping. That's how things work here. David Gilmour, About Face. No condition notes on the vinyl. No condition notes on the vinyl. Very clean. $20 start. And here's the cover. Little bit of ring wear. About a VG Plus cover. Not a collar. A VG Plus cover. That's a $20 start. David Gilmour, About Face. Vision Quest. Brian C. bid first at $25. Sean Netzel, you were second at $25. Fred, you did not get the Queen. I assumed you were out. I didn't know you'd lost connection, but I've already sold that. Vision Quest 27, David Gilmour 20, 25, and 25. Next is the Rolling Stones Get Your Yayas Out. This is a sealed copy from 2003, $29.99. Sealed copy from 2003, $29.99. The Rolling Stone Steel Wheels, that is sealed, $49.99. The Rolling Stone Steel Wheels, $49.99. That's a 1989 sealed copy, $49.99. George Benson Space. George Benson Space is $14.99. George Benson Space, $14.99. The Rolling Stones Dirty Work. The Rolling Stones Dirty Work is $34.99. This has the original inner sleeve with it. Stones Dirty Work, $34.99. And a Stones 12-inch single of Miss You, $29.99. $29.99. Okay, Vision Quest 27. David Gilmour 20, 25, 25. David Gilmour 21, 21. David Gilmour 35. Vision Quest 26 and Vision Quest 28. 28. Merle Haggard, It's Not Love, $14.99. Merle Haggard, It's Not Love, $14.99. Sean's at 28 on Vision Quest. Apparently there's some light solar flare activity coming in and possibly affecting the feed. Wow. That doesn't sound good. May have something to do with the Starship launch. Where's Stephen Chesney at? He works at SpaceX. Stephen, what's going on in the solar system? Solar flares. That doesn't sound good. Couldn't Stand the Weather, 12-inch single promo, $24.99. $24.99. Couldn't Stand the Weather, 12-inch single promo, double-sided. Now that's a good one. $24.99. John Porter on Merle Haggard. John Porter on Merle Haggard. I would be curious to know what album has been shown the most. Of all the online shows here, I'd have to guess the Beatles' Red Album. That is, yeah, probably Beatles' Red Album. We've probably had more copies of that than I'd say anything else ever. Now, new vinyl, we've sold some hundreds of copies of some things before, so that's going to be hard to beat. But vintage stuff, I'm not for sure. There's some stuff we show almost every night, and a copy sells every night. Keep on the sunny side. Always on the sunny side. That's the Carter family with special guest Johnny Cash. $14.99. $14.99 on Keep on the Sunny Side. Chariots of Fire. Hop sticker. Chariots of Fire. $9.99. Soundtrack by Vangelis. Juice Newton. Juice Newton is $9.99. Juice Newton is $9.99. Okay, Vision Quest. Let's do some final calls. Sean Netzel's at 28 on the Vision Quest. David Gilmour is at 35. David Gilmour is at 35 with Jason Dobbs. So 35 on David Gilmour, 28 on Vision Quest. Some people have set out. John Porter got the Merle Haggard. We've already tagged that. And Sean says, I need to take that back. I'm sorry. Sean needs to cancel his bid on Vision Quest. Better to do it now than after we sell it to you, because we don't like canceling auctions. So Fred Carnell has Vision Quest at 26. Let me do a recap. 26 on Vision Quest. That's with Fred Carnell. $26. Surrender, Diana Ross. Now, I have never seen that one before. Surrender, Diana Ross. $9.99. The Doors, Waiting for the Sun. $34.99. The Doors, Waiting for the Sun. Jefferson Airplane, Volunteers, 1969. $24.99. Jason Dobb is back in on Vision Quest at 28. Fleetwood Mac Bare Trees is $24.99. I didn't want to sell Vision Quest anyway because Fred said he wasn't out and he's had a bad connection all night. And we have the Pretenders Extended Play. The Pretenders Extended Play, $19.99. Kiss, look it up. We've sold a lot of copies of Right Out of the Cellar, but not enough to beat a Beatles record. And also, there's been some Elvis records. The Elvis Christmas album, one night we sold almost an entire crate full of those. $9.99. We had 50 or 60 of them, and we needed more after we sold all those. Y'all probably remember that. John Porter wants the Diana Ross. Yeah, I've never seen that before. John Porter was first to that. Leslie, you're second. Jason Dobbs at 28 on Vision Quest. What labels the Doors? That's probably a flip open. Yeah, give me 1 second on that because I got to take it out of the sleeve. Tony Doyle says Boston first. Oh, hey, that's a Boston First album for most common. Yes, we sold a lot of those. Fred's at 29 on Vision Quest. Moody Blue, for sure. Brittany Bragg, that has to be for James Bragg, unless Brittany or you, does that go under James's name? And Brian C. on the Juice Newton. Okay, we can go ahead and sell David Gilmour. They're still bidding on Vision Quest. Jason, you're out on Vision Quest, but you just won the David Gilmour About Face. The David Gilmour About Face is sold to Jason Dobb for $35. That's sold to Jason Dobb. And let's take a look at that Doors record now. Let's see. This is on a red Electra label. Very clean copy. Flip open cover. Celebration of the Lizard. That's a nice reissue of that red label, $34.99. $34.99. All right, that was a good crate. Let me go back through some of those one more time. Final call on Vision Quest. New buyer, separate account. I'll message my info. Thank you. Thank you. She created on her account, but she gets her own box. Okay. Welcome, Brittany Bragg. James told me last week he had some family members that would be watching soon. Invite as many people as you want to. That's okay with me. That's why we're here. We've only got about 1 billion records to sell. And I hope I'm going to start buying some starting tomorrow. I got some local leads. I got some people who's been locally trying to sell me their collections. It's just hard to meet up with them. They travel a lot. So I've got my schedule where I can go look at some collections now during the day. And I've got ads running now, and we're going to be buying a lot of records soon. But as y'all can tell, a couple of these huge collections, we buy them for a reason. We don't have to go out and buy for a while when you buy 30, 40,000 albums at a time. Vision Quest is at 35. Fred Carnell, you're out. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Soul to Soul, $64.99. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Look at Little Sister, $29.99. Jimmy Smith, $19.99. Ramsey Lewis is Sealed, Wade in the Water, $19.99. Pink Floyd, Uma Guma, $49.99. Surprisingly still left, The Wall, $54.99. The Best of Buck Owens and Susan Ray is still available, $9.99. Buck Owens' Sweet Rosie Jones was $9.99. Chris DeMoss wants the Stevie Ray Vaughan's Look at Little Sister, 12-inch single promo. Stones is Sealed, Get Your Yayas Out. That's a live Stones album. I think that has the version of Midnight Rambler that we know so well. The live version of that. Jimmy Smith, Doc, was $19.99. Yeah, $19.99 on Verve. Rolling Stone Steel Wheels. That's one that's not too easy to get. $49.99. It is sealed. $49.99 sealed. Excuse me. George Benson Space. $14.99. George Benson Space. The Rolling Stones Dirty Work, $34.99. Miss You is $29.99. Another Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is Couldn't Stand the Weather 12-inch single. That's awesome to see him do that live. $24.99. The Carter Family, $14.99. Chariots of Fire is $9.99. Roger Ramjet said Stones, Dirty Work. That's sold to Roger Ramjet. Volunteers, $24.99. Jefferson Airplane. Fleetwood Mac Bare Trees, $24.99. And The Doors is $34.99. Waiting for the sun to shine. Let's go ahead and sell the Vision Quest soundtrack to Jason Dobb for $35. Always popular. Has a Dio song on it. Let me grab a couple new Japanese pressings. I think we've got Against All Odds over here. We do. And we have a couple here about Obies. We have a couple here about Obies, but they're pristine. They're the normal Japanese quality, just no Obies. Let me put these right up here. Roger Ramjet also wants the sealed steel wheels. The sealed steel wheels. That's sold to Roger Ramjet. And, okay, so Doc, let me know if you want. Here's how I'll do Jimmy Smith. I got a $16 offer on it. I'm going to take that if you don't want it for $16. So Paul Gill came in right after you and offered $16 for this. If you're passing at $16, I'm going to sell it to him for 16. That's how that works. So that's sold to somebody, either Doc or Paul. And then John Ambrosic said 10 for GB. Let me figure out what that is. That is George Benson. I will go ahead and say that for $10, John Ambrosic. And I'm buying something in here for myself. It's officially no longer for sale. I don't think I have this in my collection. And it has a hype sticker with it, which I've never seen. So that is sold to Chad Williams, Tanner. Chariots of Fire. Before I forget about it, and then it pops up one night again, and then somebody buys it. Tanner says $500. George and Jimmy, I've already sold George Benson. Doc was calculating an offer. I've already sold something before that came in. George Benson's already sold. Now, this next crate, you may love it or you may hate it, but I'm going to go through it at least one time. I'm going to go through this at least one time, and it's not punk, it's not metal, it's Elvis. It's an entire crate of Elvis Presley. But don't go anywhere, because while we're doing this, I'm going to be keeping new auctions up. This is an entire crate of Elvis Presley. John said he could make 100 more of these if we wanted to. This is how many nice, clean Elvis records we have. Here's an entire crate. He said we could make 100 more if we wanted to. So let me go through these right quick. There's some good stuff in here. You can see there's a couple box sets. Do not comment Elvis Presley, okay? Do not comment Elvis Presley, because I won't know which one you're buying. The whole crate is Elvis. So comment the name of the album. He says give the Jimmy Smith to Paul. Let me go ahead and introduce our next two auctions here. We have Against All Odds. Now, if you're totally done, I don't want you to leave, but I know sometimes people's probably going to be like, Elvis. I hope you don't feel that way about the king of rock and roll. But if you do, here's our schedule for the rest of the night. I'm going to go through this crate, which won't take very long. We're either going to break right after this crate, or we're going to take a break at 10:30, and then we'll be back at either way. We'll be back at 11 o'clock tonight for 50% off records. I repeat, 11 o'clock Central Time, 50% off records. Of course, we'll come back. We'll do a new vinyl recap. I may auction off some more stuff. I don't know if it'll be Japanese or what, but that's what we'll do. All right, next two auctions. These are Japanese pressings, pristine, Against All Odds. $15 start. Against All Odds, $15 start, Japanese pressing. And Van Halen, Fair Warning, another. Let me show you the details of this one. Near mint pristine. If you don't have this already, this is a great start. It is perfect. Unchained. $35 start. I repeat, $35 start. Beautiful copy. Vinyl. The insert, the cover, it's just missing that one little slip of paper called an obi, keeping me from saying a $65 start. That's a $35 start for Van Halen, Fair Warning. And then Against All Odds is a $15 start. Okay, we have Elvis. Aloha from Hawaii, $24.99. If you need any questions or want to see labels, let me know. That's the way it is. $9.99. This is called the NBC TV special, $14.99. NBC TV special, $14.99. Bert Jordan was first to Aloha. Jeff was second. Chris says, what's the other 12-inch single? It was Couldn't Stand the Weather. Couldn't Stand the Weather. Elvis for Everyone. For Everyone, $19.99. Golden Records, $14.99. The Sun Years, $24.99. 50 Million Fans, can't be wrong, $14.99. Fred Carnell, so we do have a bid on Van Halen for $35. Against All Odds is at $15. Chris DeMoss said sold on that other Stevie Ray Vaughan. Let me pull it out of here before we get deep into the Elvis crate. Promo copy. That's sold to Chris. Sherry Darnell wants the NBC special. That's this one. Bert Jordan wants Elvis for Everyone. Gold Records Volume 3. First track is Now or Never. It is sealed. It is sealed, $24.99. Final Call on Fair Warning for $35, and Final Call on Against All Odds for $15. Final call on both of those. Country, Elvis Country. I'm trying to hint at the key word if you don't hear me doing that. I'm trying to give you the best key word. Country, Elvis Country, $14.99. Burt Jordan, first on gold. I'm assuming you want the sealed one, Burt. John Ambrosic's at $37 on Van Halen. Elvis Forever. Here's one I don't see too often. That's because this is from Italy. $24.99. Elvis Forever. That's an RCA Italian label. Elvis Forever. Elvis Presley. 2LP. $24.99. Double Dynamite. Double Dynamite. 2LP. $19.99. Pure Gold. It's a great comp. $14.99 for if you need to get started on Elvis. That's not a bad start. Songs of Inspiration. Inspiration. $9.99. How Great Thou Art. Here's one that everybody, I can't seem to get enough of them. $9.99. John Porter on Pure. Pure. That was the, I just skipped over it. Wait a second. Pure Gold. Yeah, Pure Gold. That's sold to John Porter. Burt Jordan on Double Dynamite. You'll Never Walk Alone. You have to go to the back to see the title for this one. You'll Never Walk Alone. $19.99. This is called Elvis. So I can't give you a name to do this one. John was showing me an old commercial that played for about 2 years where they promoted this record in a commercial. Some of y'all may have remembered that. I need to get that link for him and share it in the group. But he said from like when did this come out? 73, like they played this commercial advertising this record. It's an RCA special product. This could only be ordered through TV, is what John said. And of course, we've had 1,000 of them. But he said they advertised it and advertised it and advertised it, and it was sold through TV. $19.99. So when you see that, that's why I really don't have a name written anywhere on it or a barcode or anything like that. It was sold through TV. Sherry Darnell wants Elvis Country. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. Okay, so we did have a new bid on Van Halen. John Ambrosic was at $37. So Darren Meyer, please let me know if you're in or out. In or out, that's $37. And we can go ahead and sell Against All Odds. That's sold to Fred Carnell for $15. Let me put up a new auction right quick. Not before I show Roustabout. That's one of his original soundtracks to his films. $9.99. And Harem Scarum. That's a 65 mono. Very clean copy. 65 mono. $34.99 on Harem Scarum. What was I going to say? I forgot. I was going to make another note about Elvis since we're doing an Elvis crate. Okay, Don Henley, Building the Perfect Beast. Japanese pressing, Building the Perfect Beast. This is a $45 start for Don Henley, Building the Perfect Beast. $45 start. I'm about to sell Van Halen. I have not heard back from Darren Meyer. Going twice, going 3 times. Don Henley's a $45 start. Very clean copy. Harem Scarum. Another Gold Records Volume 3. That one's $14.99. We sold a sealed copy just a moment ago. He Walks Beside Me, Favorite Songs of Faith and Inspiration. That's $9.99. Sings Inspirational Favorites. This is an RCA Music Service Reader's Digest. $9.99. Reader's Digest. That's something I don't see as often as other. One of his gospel records. Darren's out on Van Halen. John Porter on Elvis Gold. Van Halen then is sold to John Ambrosic for $37. That's sold to John Ambrosic. Don Henley is $45 start. Worldwide 50. Well, I've messed this all up. Worldwide 50 Gold Award Hits Volume 1. $34.99. That is a triple, I think, LP box of Elvis hits. And it includes the photo album. Take a look at that. Did that come with it? I think it did. I just don't, maybe I've never seen one. Get an Elvis photo album with it. Boy, I wish my hair looked like that. $34.99. That is $34.99. That's all I can say about it. Eternal Elvis. 20 never before released songs. $24.99. Some kind of unofficial, unreleased songs. $24.99. Did I pull gold already for John Porter? Yes, I did. There is Worldwide Gold Awards Hits Volumes 1 and 2. So that's an abbreviated version of the box that I just showed. That's a 2 LP hits, $19.99. The box is sold to Roger Ramjet. Here is Volume 2 of that box, Roger, or anybody else that wants it. Worldwide Gold Award Hits Volume 2. That is $34.99. And we have the Elvis Presley Story. This is the Candlelight box. And this was sold through solicitation, through mail, magazines. This is another Elvis Presley. This is the Elvis Presley Story. They made this on cassette, 8-track, vinyl. That is $29.99. There's 2 more Elvis boxes. Sings hits from his movies, $9.99. Malaha. I'm not good with the Hawaiian words. $9.99. Our Memories of Elvis. Memories, $9.99. Our Memories of Elvis Volume 2, $9.99. The Elvis Commemorative Album. Hey, there it is in a different jacket. Same thing. This is the limited edition version. I think maybe some of the first ones they sold were limited edition to like 1 million. And this is on yellow vinyl. $29.99. Elvis Commemorative Album, $29.99. Sherry Darnell wants Eternal. That was Eternal. Eternal. This one right here. Eternal Elvis. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. I'm going to go ahead and make Don Henley a buy it now. If anybody wants that for $45. Don Henley, Building the Perfect Beast. Japanese pressing. Has his hit song Boys of Summer on it. That's a $45 buy it now. Craig wants the commemorative album. That's sold to Craig Johnson. Gold Records Volume 5. This is a good one. $19.99. Has Suspicious Minds on it. Kentucky Rain, In the Ghetto, Burning Love, Moody Blue, and Way Down. $19.99 for Volume 5. I wish that was like where I had stacks of those. People coming in the stores where I could sell them. Elvis, If I Was the One, or Elvis, I Was the One, $19.99 on Elvis, I Was the One. Rock and Roll Forever, this is another Candlelight RCA Special Products, $19.99 for Candlelight, or excuse me, for Rock and Roll Forever, it's on the Candlelight. This is a compilation of some of his early rock and roll hits like Jailhouse, Blue Suede Shoes, Hound Dog, All Shook Up. From Elvis in Memphis. From Elvis in Memphis is $29.99. Very clean copy, black label from Elvis in Memphis, $29.99. Elvis Today in shrink wrap, featuring the hit single Trouble. That is $14.99. Elvis Today, $14.99. That came out in 1975. Elvis, we'll just have to call this one self-titled. He had a lot of albums just called Elvis or Elvis Presley. Whatever they could throw into a package and press. $14.99, Elvis Presley Elvis at Madison Square Garden. That is sealed. $29.99 for Madison Square Garden. That is sealed. Girl Happy is a 65 mono OG Rockaway press. $34.99. That's in mono. Very clean copy. By the way, we've got a bunch of these. They don't look like this. They don't look like this. Dave Polick, the Don Henley is a $45 buy it now. It's a Japanese pressing of Building the Perfect Beast. Harem Scarum is sealed. Sealed Harem Scarum for $24.99. Probably a later press. Paradise Hawaiian Style. Paradise Hawaiian Style, $14.99. Gold stamp promo. Speedway is sealed. Sealed copy of Speedway, $29.99. Girls, Girls, Girls. Oh, this is nice. $74.99. Very clean. $74.99. Excellent jacket, too. 1962 Hollywood press. Burt Jordan wants Paradise Hawaiian Style. That's sold to Burt Jordan. Guitar Man by Elvis, $9.99. These are all by Elvis. Welcome to My World, $9.99. And Clam Bake. Clam Bake is $14.99. Okay, I'm just going to read the titles of those one more time. Clam Bake, Welcome to My World, Guitar Man, Girls, 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 Speedway, Harem Scarum, Girl Happy, Madison Square Garden, we're going to call that one self-titled, Today, from Elvis in Memphis, Rock and Roll Forever, I Was the One, Gold Record Volume 5, surprisingly still available, Our Memories of Elvis Volume 2 and Volume 1, Hawaii, Sings Hits from Movies, The Elvis Story, Other Sides Volume 2, the Worldwide Gold Award 1 and 2, Inspirational Favorites, He Walks Beside Me, Harem Scarum, Roused About, the TV special, advertised record, You'll Walk Alone, How Great Thou Art, Songs of Inspiration, Elvis Forever, 50 Million Fans, Sun Years, Golden Records, that's a good one too, and That's the Way It Is. Burt Jordan wants Clam Bake, and Sherry wants Volume 5. Sherry wants Volume 5. Jack wants the MSG Elvis TV. That is, I'm assuming you want just it. Is that 2 comments you're claiming or just 1? Jack, I think you want, I know for sure you want this one, the sealed one, but let me know if you want the other one as well. Okay, well, I would say let's bring out a new crate or do this or do that, but I think probably a lot of people left when I said I was about to do an entire crate of Elvis. So I'm going to just show you a couple things that didn't sell for Buy It Now. I may go ahead and run through. He wants the blue and yellow too. Yes, this one here, the advertised one. Yes, sell that to Jack as well. So he got both of those. I'm going to run through the new vinyl from tonight because there may be some people just hopped on. You just seen an entire bin of Elvis. I'm glad I went through it. I'm going to keep these up by the counter because people come in the store daily asking for Elvis. And I think y'all remember a couple weeks ago what I had left we brought up here in one bin, and I didn't even put them on sale. We just went through it and we sold every Elvis record that we had out. And that's like amazing since we literally have 5,000 more in the back probably. So maybe not that many, but we got a bunch. We got probably over 1,000, I would bet. So let me get the new vinyl up here. Let me empty some crates because they're at the very, very bottom. We had a couple putbacks earlier tonight. So let me show those. That's what I'm going to do during the break. I got 2 crates of putbacks. We may do those during part 2. That will take up a lot of time, and then we can do some half off, or we'll do half off and save the putbacks for later, but I know y'all like putbacks. Twisted Sister Donington, that's on purple splatter vinyl. This is some old putbacks. We don't have any more of these left. That's the indie exclusive U2 Songs of Surrender, $49.99 stained. Only copy of that we have now. It's been a while, and somebody canceled a facelift on us. We got a bunch of those, but one of our best sellers. Those are $36.99. I got some more vintage here. Let me do some condensing. Sold a lot tonight. I'm emptying crates. I've already emptied 3. I'm about to empty the 4th and the 5th. That's the very first stuff from the night. Let me put that there. And let me find the crate of new vinyl that we started with. There's the recap bin we started with. There's the only vintage left from the night. There's crate of new vinyl number 1. Here's crate of new vinyl number 2. All Beatles one. We got to get some new ones out. John's going to work on that tomorrow. He did Elvis today. I said, well, I don't know if we want to do the Beatles as well. It takes a lot of time to get all those ready, but we have a ton. All right, so quick recap on these, and then we're going to take a break, and we'll come back for part 2 on sale records, and we'll probably do a bin of non-payments and putbacks. So here's the new vinyl from the night. This is also how we'll start part 2. Last copy of John Cougar Mellencamp, The Best I Could Do, $44.99. That's a 2LP Greatest Hits. Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits is $31.99. Kraftwerk Techno Pop, that's on colored vinyl, $28.99. Genesis Selling England by the Pound, that's a half-speed master, $28.99. Luke Combs, What You See Is What You Get, $33.99. The classic Forrest Gump soundtrack, $36.99. Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band, The Traveler, $36.99. We got a nice restock of Slipknot Iowa. That's on green vinyl, $36.99 for Slipknot Iowa. And this reissue of this rare psych album, this is CA Quintet, Trip Through Hell. That's from Sundazed on red vinyl, $33.99. And then from the second crate only has 3 titles left. That is Collective Soul, Hence Allegations and Things Left Unsaid, a very nice craft pressing, $34.99 for Collective Soul. That has their hit song, by far their biggest hit song, Shine. And we have a copy of the Wallflowers. We got several of them. This is called Bringing Down the Horse. We got a big restock of that from 3 different distributors. So I've got a bunch of them in stock now. $34.99. Steve Henry wants the Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band. I've never had that one before. John Duran on Luke. That is Luke Combs right here. Chad, someone was trying to claim that red LP a bunch of times earlier tonight. I wonder if they were probably saying the word hell, and probably Facebook was, or maybe Restream was blocking it. If I ever have an album that has any kind of bad word in it to most people, then try something else. But I wonder who that was. Sometimes I can go back through and rewatch, and I might can find it. They called out the artist's name. I didn't see that either. I'll have to go back through and watch that. So that's probably sold to somebody. I'll go back through and try to find that. Sherry Darnell wants the other Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I've never had that one before. If anybody else lets me know. Plus, we got a ton of waiting list from part 1. Hopefully, Seth caught all those. Did you catch all those, Seth?
Every single one.
He said every single one of them. Okay, we had some U2 albums. We had 2 or 3 different U2 albums that we haven't had in a long time. And Cart just died. I wish I could have ended this before that happened. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me?